live now. I went live. I did it, everybody.
Yay!
Woo!
Yay.
Woo, woo, woo!
I will give you the... that's where we are.
Okay, there we go. We are recording.
Nice.
And...
And I also want to do...
I realized I've properly gotten into podcasting now because I just thought, you know what, I could do with an additional screen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll do it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know what this hobby needs? More money poured into it.
Yes,
Good idea, Tony. Good idea.
I'm about to do some in-person D&D,
right, well.
and I have my bill for how much I'm spending on it is climbing because I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to have this. Oh, I could get this.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should get some red fountain pen ink so I can write some handouts in the.
Well, yeah.
Just keeps going and going.
My kids, I mean, I have not played in-person D&D in probably about 5 years now, and I don't like to think about how much I've spent on miniatures that were critical.
It's not true. You
right.
You did it in-person D&D in Portland at the
In
Incomparable
Portland,
Fest.
you're right. There's a one special thing, and we recorded it so that I can't say that.
Yep.
A record was made.
It's true. I think we're ready to go. Otherwise,
All right. Hi, live stream or bootleg or some other way that you're listening to this.
Weird.
Tell us what that
via
is.
the astral plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to know.
We are going to be starting a new adventure momentarily here on this Total Party Kill bootleg. Players, is everyone reasonably good to go? I know we've got some folks who are different levels of experience, so we will move at whatever pace people need. But you know, people are ready to play Dungeons and Dragon in a podcast environment.
Yeah.
Woo!
So.
As ready as I can be.
Okay.
It's been quite a weekend already.
Yeah. We traditionally would play for 1 hour, take a break, and then play for another hour is our usual plan. So in the olden days, we did 3 or 4 sessions, and I think we're all too old for that.
That was never wise.
Oh man, I remember there were times where it would be like after midnight. It's like, okay, we need to record another hour. Those were dark times when we were young and foolish.
No, I remember those weekends where we get to hour 4 and I'd think, just kill me now, right?
Yeah.
Like, please, just end this.
But we had to do it because we didn't have enough content.
Yeah.
We didn't. Yeah.
And what did I do? I created a backlog to avoid
did.
that
Thank you,
exact
Tony. Now we don't have to
situation
do
because
4
I was like,
hours.
Just from that.
this is unbearable. I
freeing
cannot
up my
deal
time
with
to
it.
record more podcasts.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, all right. Let us get into it. So, welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, Dungeon Master. I use he, him pronouns. And today we're doing one of my favorite things on Total Party Kill. We are starting a new adventure. That's right. We will be playing the Canopic Being from the Candlekeep Mysteries collection. That's right. This is another adventure that will start off. Will it take place? No, who knows? But at least it will start off at the legendary Candlekeep Library, the most famous library in the Dungeons and Dragons fantasy known world that is fictional and made up. Allow me to introduce our players, and they'll probably introduce their character name and class, and then we'll get started with the adventure. First up, it's Micah Sargent.
Whoa, I'm first. Hi, hello. As Tony said, I'm Micah Sargent, he, him. My character is Ashguri Lone Walker Mako Tatahani, more familiarly known as Lone Walker, a Goliath paladin. He also uses he, him pronouns.
Would you describe what he looks like, since this is the beginning of a new...
Yeah, that's a great idea. So Lone Walker is a very tall individual, given that he is a Goliath. He wears a set of armor that is like a light gold color. It has kind of like stains of grass and things because he is a bit of an adventurer and is a lone walker. He has a light purplish blue skin and beautiful braided dark purple hair. And he carries around a big old war hammer and a few little light hammers as well.
So many hammers.
So many hammers as he is wont to have. And then lastly, I guess I'd say he has some tattoos on his face, being of the Goliath race. They were added to him when he was but a youth. And that's Lone Walker.
Thank you, Micah. Next up, it's Erica Ensign. Welcome back, Erica.
Hello. I am back. I am bringing back a character you might remember if you listen to the White Sparrow Adventures. I am playing Reed Quarrel Kilgariff. Yes, it's a Doctor Who reference. You can look it up if you're interested. Reed Quarrel Kilgariff and I both use she, her pronouns. She is very tall for a human, though she is human. She's 6'6", and you can't really see what she looks like because she's just this tall, skinny figure wearing a black cloak with a hood that hangs down so far, like you barely can see her face. It's the cloak is clasped with the symbol of the god Kelemvor, who I will point out is the comforting god of death. Yes, the comforting god of death.
It's a bunch of not so bad gods. Gods of death get a bad name.
Some of them do. Kelemvor is certainly the main one. So it's like scales of justice, but it's a skeletal hand that's holding up the.
It's the gods of undeath. You got to watch out for people.
Yes.
They're
so that's the clasp on the cloak, which is kind of the only feature of this cloak because it's just all black. And she carries a great big. At first glance, like you might think it's a glaive, but when you look at it, you realize no, it's a little bit more curved. It actually looks a lot like a scythe. Just saying.
Am I allowed to accidentally call it a scythe, or should I always call it a glaive?
Yeah, please call it a scythe. I'm going to be using rules for the glaive, but because there's no scythes as a weapon. But yeah, it's a scythe.
Rules for the glaive.
It does have that vibe.
Also joining us, brand new to Total Party Kill. It's been a while since we had a new player join us, a new-ish to Dungeons and Dragons. It's Sarah Bickerton. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Bickerton. I'm relatively new. I haven't played online Dungeons and Dragons before. I've done D&D a bit. I do remember playing like the nascent D&D in like the early 80s.
Back when it was satanic, yeah.
Yeah, when it was properly satanic. And we had to draw our own little, on math paper, like the little dungeons that we were in and that kind of stuff. So I actually enjoyed drawing the dungeons more than playing the game, but that probably says a lot about me. Anyway, I use she, her pronouns. It is 7 o'clock, just past 7 o'clock in the morning here in New Zealand. So I am appropriately caffeinated. I've had 2 double espressos and moved on to energy drinks. My character is Vrolga Tribesbane. She also uses she, her pronouns. She is a half-orc barbarian. She is, I feel like we have a really tall band happening because she's like 6'9". With like tall folks. She, but of course, for being a half orc, she is short for an orc. She's half her head is shaved, which bears no resemblance to me whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about. She's you'll discover she's a bit of a misanthrope. Just like given her last name, it gives you an idea of what her background is. She's clad in chainmail. She has a great axe on her back. And then a pair of hand axes on her sides, and is kind of perpetually scowling, but that's her thing. So.
Mm-hmm. And joining this, starts out looking kind of like possibly some kind of odd basketball team. We have Jason Snell. Tell us about your character.
Hi, I am bringing back Nis, who is a character created as a reference to an NPC in one episode of TPK from way back when. But she's been in a bunch of stuff. She is a lizard folk sorcerer. So I am told by the internet that a lizard folk is also tall, that she's probably about 6 feet tall.
I did not imagine that. I apologize. I've been imagining you at 5 feet this whole time.
That's true. She's taller, but well, here's why, Tony, though, because you might be counting her tail, which is an extra 2 or 3 feet. But not in height. It just, it goes down there where the tail is. But anyway, she's wearing, she's a sorcerer. So she's wearing a purple sorcery robe, and she's got her green scaled lizard type person stuff. And she is the, she is an agent of and co-founder of a sorcery school. So she is not only an adept sorcerer, but it's the lizard folk came into possession through. You can look it up in that old episode of TPK, a skull-shaped building that she's turned into a really awesome sorcery school.
To be accredited sorcery school.
I think at this point, it is getting very close to being accredited by the NCAA, which is the normal championing of
Arcanus?
Awesome arcanity. Yes.
Okay.
So that's good news for whatever, LSU, Lizard Folk Sorcery University. Great news for that. Anyway, her name is Nis. Her brother is Biz. That was why she's called Nis. And Nis and Lone Walker kind of don't get along. So this is going to be interesting.
Well, always interesting when people RSVP things for things, and it's like, don't your characters hate each other? Anyway,
that's the beauty of role playing, Tony.
Everybody loves to role play as people who don't get along. Last but certainly not least, new-ish to Total Party Kill, possibly new in depending on what order episodes are released, but not new in terms of recording order. It's Brian Guffey. Welcome, Brian. You are new to my adventures, at least.
I am new to your adventures. I am excited to be here. My name is Brian Guffey. I forgot exactly what was happening for a moment there. That was really fun. My name is Brian Guffey, and my pronouns are they, them, and I am playing Melius Starsinger, whose pronouns are also they, them, because why would you try to keep the rest of the stuff together in your head? Melius is a gender-fluid Eladrin bard, and they're born
Say
in
no more.
Exactly.
Bard.
Keep saying.
Yeah, keep going.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So,
I got a
Eladrin
picture already, though. This is great.
Eladrin is College of Lore bard, and they were born during the autumn phase of the Feywild's eternal cycle in the shimmering court of Tiandra, the Summer Queen. They are noble. Their parents were cultural emissaries between the Feywild courts. They found themselves drawn to the celestial patterns and would spend hours with their fiddle, harp, or songhorn, playing melodies that seemed to capture the very essence of starlight, which is how they earned the surname Starsinger. They were not content to remain within the borders of the Feywild. They felt called to explore the material plane and its countless cultures and stories. They joined the College of Lore, excelled in their studies of Arcana, and they are generally very peaceful and scholarly, but they do not hesitate to use their considerable magic abilities when threatened, particularly against those who would harm innocents or damage the delicate balance between worlds. They have a little bit of what we would call seasonal affective disorder, as most of the elves of the Feywild do. So if it's not their season, they get a little grumpy. And they often come off as a bit aloof until you get to know them, and then they are quite a friend.
This party has no charisma.
That's actually not true. They have Starsinger Melius has a +7 charisma.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Okay.
Yeah, this is a +5.
A little bit of a dork.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You're sorcerer.
Sorry, +2 charisma. I lied. I was looking at the bonus for the check.
There's a variety of types of charisma, Erica. You need to remember that, in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, certain people might have a magnetism that, we as players don't appreciate as outsiders.
I have a very important question, though. How tall?
Yeah, how tall?
Oh, 6'3".
Wow, okay.
We have the basketball team. Seriously.
There was
absolutely.
you must be this tall.
Yeah.
We're in trouble if
You pass the ball to Nis. She hits it into the basket with her tail, and Raph is like, "There's no rule against it." So
this adventure will take place entirely in small, very cramped tunnels. No, Brian. we're about to start at a specific location in Candlekeep. But Candlekeep, you know, for those who don't remember, it's this huge, sprawling library kind of city. It's like a city that is a library. It does have a tavern. It has a tavern called the Hearth, and you know, it's possible that some of the other characters might even recognize Melius from their performance last night. Is that true?
It is true. Some might particularly recognize. If the share that I just did works, we'll find out if you all recognize the song that Melius performed last night. If I can find the freaking music up on my computer, there we go. Let's see if
May or
this
may not
works.
work from a technical perspective. We'll find out.
It's a banger.
I know, right?
Twilight lingers where the veil grows thin. Stars above, below, within.
All right.
Echoes dance through amber leaves as worlds touch where none perceive. My strings.
So this is setting a new bar for introducing your character. Jason, do we know if that went on the live stream or not? I know there's always weird things.
Some of it did, some of it didn't.
Excellent.
It'll all be in the final.
It'll all be in the final. Excellent.
The final.
But that was last night. That was in the Hearth, in the tavern, in Candlekeep, where people are, or especially adventurers, are want to hang out during their time in Candlekeep. And you know, people come to Candlekeep Library for all manner of things, mainly books. But you might be, you know, whether you are here in Candlekeep on personal business, or maybe you were escorting someone else or delivering something, and you know, you have not necessarily met or adventured with any of these other characters before, but you find yourself today. You have all been called into the inner sanctum of Candlekeep, into the administrative offices, and are specifically find yourself in a kind of strange scene here. You're in the very ornate offices of the first reader of Candlekeep. The first reader is a very high-ranking librarian among the avowed, the monk-like librarians that maintain Candlekeep Library, and it is very unusual for people to be basically brought into the back offices, the administrative offices of Candlekeep. And so you're in this very ornate library-like office. There are 5 kind of mismatched chairs that have been placed in front of the desk of the first reader, suggesting that it is not normal that they have meetings here. And the first reader herself is kind of pacing back and forth behind her desk. She is a dragonborn, a humanoid with very draconic features. She has these kind of bronze scales, and she is draped in the purple robes that the avowed, the librarians of Candlekeep, are wear to identify themselves.
Fabulous.
Yeah, she looks worried, and now that the 5 of you are assembled, she kind of turns and addresses you and says, I'm Bookworm. I am the first reader of Candlekeep, and I need you to understand that this is highly unusual. I rarely meet with the patrons of Candlekeep, but fate seems to have brought us together. One of the avowed has gone missing, a junior acolyte, and well, I think that you are important in possibly finding and returning this member of our order to Candlekeep and to safety. She pauses in case you want to say something.
Tell us more. We're interested.
We have certainly been very involved in things that happen in this library. May I ask what called what led to you calling upon us? Is this a choice you made, or were you told that this group
Yeah.
would be of service?
I'm new here. Why?
Why?
Why me?
An excellent question. The avowed in question is Maestan Sadar. It's my nephew, and
Nepotism. Got it.
I have called upon you in particular because your names were listed in a book that young Maestan was studying, and she opens a drawer and plonks out a huge, heavy book on the desk in front of you. This is a very strange looking book. And, Candlekeep, full of books, lots of books that are magic, lots of books that pull people into other realms or teleport them across the world. But even by that, this is a weird looking book because this is a book that is basically bound in crystal. It's got kind of silvery, translucent, like flat crystals binding it, and then worked into some of those crystals there are kind of green gemstones that look very eye-like. You can kind of see the title page through the crystal cover that this book is titled The Canopic Being. And Bookworm, the first reader, opens the book and kind of with her little clawed hand flips all the way to the end, and
Oh, great. A book. With.
Books. I love books.
God, of course you do.
Toward the very end of the book, there's a list, and the list has a title on it. It says, "Those who have been bestowed, the willing sacrifices." Jason Snell, would you give us a dramatic reading of the list?
Sure. Zemru Thal, Alessia Basir, Okuzor, Zarin Zeradius, Mayastan Sadar, Ashguri, Lone Walker Mako Tatahani, Nis, Vroga Tribesbane, Milius Starsinger, Reed Quarrel Kilgareth.
So you are here because your names are in this book, next to my nephew, of course, and I'm hoping you could explain what's going on.
I have never seen this book before. I only arrived yesterday, bringing the library a beautiful bound volume of the etchings that I have done in many gravestones across the land as my entrance book fee. I'm very confused as to why my name is listed in a book in a place that I just got to.
Tony, do we recognize any of these other names?
Well, you do recognize the name Mayastan Sadar as the aforementioned Dragonborn Avowed that is missing.
The
As
nepotism.
well as our own names.
Yeah, you recognize your own names and the names of the people around you. I don't think you recognize any of the other names. You could probably, just from context clues in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, the name Okuzor being a name by itself is a very tiefling kind of thing to do. But that's about it.
I might recognize that I have a pretty good intelligence plus history. Can I
Why don't
roll a
you give me
history check?
Yeah, roll a history check and see if you know any of these names. First roll of the adventure.
An 18.
You think you may have heard the name Zemru Athal before. The other ones do not look familiar.
Got it. Zemru Athal. I think I
yes.
know that name.
Zemru Thal, I do not know him personally, but he is the one who donated the book to the library.
I wonder what canopic means.
Would you like to Milius, would you like to take a minute or two and flip through the book?
Yes, I would love to.
All right.
Are you sure?
Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nis would like to do an Arcana check and see if this
the
book,
book itself
seems
is magic.
sketchy in some way.
Yeah, that's a good
Yep.
idea.
Have any of us heard of this book?
No, I don't think so.
15.
Nothing about the physical properties of the book seems dangerously magical. You think that the weird eye-like gemstones are just, for example, a minor illusion for aesthetic effects, and that the book is unlikely to eat your hands. So,
All right. Then this is like, all right, Milius.
I have a bit of an obsession with knowledge, so
well, you're in the right place because you're at Canopic Library.
yes.
Maybe you could be a guest speaker at Lizardfolk Sorcery University sometime. We'll talk later.
I would, sure, absolutely.
There
I don't
is
really dig books.
no honorarium for that position. We need to be clear.
I'm a
don't really
noble. I
know
don't
about
need
it.
money. I don't need money.
Must be nice.
Roga is wandering off to the side
Yeah.
and pulling up a chair and kind of like just huffing and sitting
Books
down.
are so boring.
Casting a leg over the arm, just
I
like,
imagine you were just like passing by, and Candlekeep Library was like a convenient place to stop on your
Yeah,
next
yeah.
location, and you were just at the hearth on like just inside the door, at the gates of Candlekeep, and you're like, I did not want to go into the library part of Candlekeep. I am not here of my own
yes,
choosing.
like books. I don't trust them.
Yeah, you're learning a powerful lesson about going near a library. Don't. So, Melius, flipping through the book seems to be it's hard to read at parts because it's some places the paper is very old and the handwriting is faded, but it seems to describe various rituals related to the creation of an undead mummy lord. Yeah. And
Quarrel sits up straight as a rod if you say that out loud.
yeah, and specifically, it has all of this kind of information about a unique and horrifying process. Traditionally, in making a mummy, you would put the organs of the mummy in canopic jars where they'd be stored. And this ritual proposes a novel solution of where do you keep your where would a mummy keep their organs, which is that specifically they can have their organs preserved and transplanted into living humanoids who would then be under the control of the mummy lord, basically as thralls.
Interesting.
I immediately ask,
Wow.
does it say anything about an ability to remove those organs and allow the people to live, or would those poor souls just need to be destroyed for everyone's good?
It is suggested here that it would require a key component of undoing that ritual would predicate the mummy lord being destroyed. Reed Quarrel.
I would like to destroy this mummy lord. If this book happens to be nonfiction, where do I go to do that? I would like to do that right now, please.
There is also a kind of I think as you're flipping through the book, you notice there's like a
I'm looking over your shoulder at this point, Milius.
I understand. I'm just understood.
an envelope.
I moved the book
out of
over
the
a bit
book.
so you can see it either better.
Yeah, as you do that, an envelope falls out of the book. It looks like it was like tucked into between some of the front pages.
I grab it. If Melius doesn't reach for it immediately, I will grab it.
I tried to, but you get it first.
Yeah. There's like a little kind of yellowy envelope. It's marked with like a kind of eye-like symbol on it. And I'm assuming you open it up, Reed Coral, because otherwise
Yes,
you're just going to carry that around forever.
Wouldn't hesitate.
And Erica, would you like to read this note? I'm going to paste the text of it into chat because
Thank you.
the image of it is fancy, hard to read.
All right. When we began this journey, only the oracle of the all-seeing orb, the great, it's very small text here, Valen Samster?
I think it's Starnaster, and it's in the Roll20 chat if that helps.
Yeah, that's where the text is very small.
Oh, okay.
Had an inkling where it might lead. It is my honor to have been selected as the first donor and recipient. By giving Valen a piece of myself and receiving a piece of her in return, I can help the fate of the world unfold as she has foreseen. It is my honor to protect the oracle in her sanctuary, ensuring that only donors and recipients may visit her. I have no need of the right of reclamation. For I believe in the vision and perfection of Valen's Starmaster. For clarity's sake, I offer this record of the procedures performed on the donors and recipients whose fates and organs are now bound to the Oracle. May she serve the all-seeing for centuries to come. In transparency, Zemruthal, High Priest of Savras, House of the All-Seeing Orb, Tashluta.
First.
I do not like this at all.
This is deeply concerning
Creepy.
to me.
The undead
so
are an
gross.
abomination upon the earth. Kelemvor insists that I cast them all out. I request your help in doing this however we can.
And to spice things up, we've added several pro-undead people to the party, so we can hear both sides. No.
I was not planning to share this so early with all of you. But now reading this, it seems deeply important. During my travels, I discovered ancient texts suggesting a coming convergence of planes that threatens both the Feywild and material plane. This potential catastrophe has driven me to seek allies and knowledge that might prevent this disaster. It is why I came to Candlekeep to learn more and to meet those adventurers. I now wonder if it is possible that this Valen Sarnaster may be the architect of said catastrophe. We must prevent this.
I'm up for being paid.
I look a bookworm.
We, of course, could arrange for an appropriate honorarium if you are able to return or learn the fate of young acolyte Maya Sansadar.
I am sold.
Do you have any potential information where we might go? At times, we have been sucked into books. At times, we have been
I know
led
that.
by adventures.
There's
At
quite a
times-
file on you, Lone Walker. We do know that Maya Stan arranged to be teleported, and I could arrange for you to follow in his footsteps if that is what you think is appropriate.
Yes, please.
It is interesting that you have not said where.
I was
It
wondering
is
the
interesting
same
that I do
thing.
not know where.
Oh, how can you arrange for us to be teleported to the same place if you do not know where?
Well, perhaps I got a bit ahead of myself. I would be happy to teleport you to wherever you think would be most helpful.
So what you're saying is you don't have much information at all.
I have a spooky book
don't
with
know
your names in it.
This is what I'm saying about books.
Okay, so we need to figure out where
We're going.
I'm not.
Can we
okay,
just go
hold
in
on,
the
actually,
book?
Lone Walker.
Is that what you all do?
The book is just a book.
What?
I don't know.
Several of you
Luta.
at this point are jumping up and down on the book, waiting for the book to teleport you somewhere. And it's
I've
not
heard about
happening.
this. I wanted to go.
Yeah. We tried running into the book. We
Tony,
tried
do we
putting the
know
book
where
on your
Tash
head.
Luta is?
Give me some kind of history check there, Nis.
It's not my best
I
subject.
don't know why it's
10.
history. It's current events also. It's not. No one has the current events skill in Dungeons
I
and
mean,
Dragons.
current events are technically history because they did happen in the past.
Yeah.
Unless it's happening right now, it's
This is the
history.
most aggressively
That's true.
Erica statement. Yeah. Everything is
And
history.
we love her for them.
Yeah.
I
What'd
just
you
got
get,
a
Jason?
10.
10. You know that's somewhere far to the east.
I
will
help.
also-
No, I don't. Never mind. No, sorry, I
All right.
don't.
History?
Yeah, you
All right,
really
let's
don't
do
want
it.
me doing a history check.
Yeah.
I mean,
How do we do this
Luta,
time?
that sounds familiar.
Okay, 26.
okay,
All
I'm not
right.
bothering.
Here we go.
Congratulations. You win Jeopardy. Brian, you know that Tashluta is the capital city of Talishar, a land far to the east. Up to you whether that is a place you have heard about or visited, but it is pretty far away as far as like the map of the world goes for any
At
of
290 something years
you've
old,
been around?
I have been many.
And you remember them? Because I'm not really sure where I was last week. So.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
shockingly, as
Steel
a
trap.
Fae, it is part of our great opportunity and curse to remember things so clearly.
Bookworm starts writing up a memo, basically the paperwork to file for a teleportation, or the instructions. There's an office in the administrative building where you would go to cash this in.
The balance of well, magic and don't forget the paperwork.
Of course, Candlekeep Library.
Before we go, given that you have my record, you are probably prepared for me to ask, is there anything you are willing to provide to help us along the way in finding your family member?
Reed Quarrel looks over at Lone Walker and kind of makes a little nod and just says, practical. Like you, I approve of.
Bookworm starts like looking around her office. And she's realizing it's like just all books. And there's like no stacks of magical items to hand out or anything like that. And she kind of shrugs and is like, we can work it out later.
Information is also power. Is there anything we have failed to ask you that you feel might be of importance for us to know? It is not just items that we look for.
I recognize the name or the title in the in the note there that you found from the previous owner of the book. Savras is a deity, kind of somewhat of some people consider this term disparaging, but a lesser deity of some people would say destiny and fate, but he's frequently worshipped by diviners and those who would seek to have knowledge of the future. And there is a temple to Savras, a good number of worshippers thereof in Tashluta. So perhaps that is where my nephew has gone.
Does that also mean that perhaps they will be aware that an adventuring group is on its way, given
That is
their
kind of
ability
their
to
thing.
see the future? All right.
And our names
And
are
our names are in the
already
book.
this
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Also true. All right.
All right. Bookworm hands you like a memo. It's got like a billing number on it, and it's got a lot of paperwork, and then like her elaborate signature on it. It's good for 5 transportations from the Office of Library Transit, which is apparently in the
Little
basement
punches.
of this
Just
administrative
to
building.
confirm, this is your billing number, not to our account, correct?
Correct. And in fact, this will be coming. I will be handling this personally. Technically, my nephew has not been missing long enough for this to count as official Candlekeep business. But you can, I think you can understand why I'm so concerned.
In that case, I've heard some really great things about the meatball subs at the Hearth. I would, if
yes,
you
of
could
course.
throw in a few vouchers for those, I would really appreciate it.
She unlocks another. It was the at one end. Obviously, you have a desk. One drawer you keep the Canopic Being in, and one desk drawer you keep meatball sub vouchers in. That's what a desk is for. She unlocks the other drawer on the other side of the desk and hands you a stack of meatball sub vouchers.
Do they have
Thank you.
freeze-dried meatball subs that we can reconstitute
with us.
on our trip?
They do, but I would not recommend it. They don't travel well.
Understood.
So before we head out, Nis, in her very best Draconic, says to Bookworm, as you may or may not know, I am the assistant dean of a new educational institution, Lizardfold Sorcery University. And if we survive this and come back and are successful, it would really be good if you could provide some sort of endorsement or a friendly agreement between the university and Candlekeep in terms of establishing the legitimacy of my university.
In Draconic, Reed Quarrel says, a letter of support.
Yes.
Um,
In Draconic.
and
Yes, in
Bookworm replies in Draconic, "It would be my pleasure."
Thank you.
Yes, never missing a beat to
Yeah,
get the
you guys
university.
really-
up and
I
running.
love this.
Scaled types got to stick
You
together.
guys, level 13 adventures are working the hustle. So
I'm looking forward to the eventual like slice of life adventure where we all are at LSU as professors.
mainly, I am not. I
Make it
guess
happen.
The
Yes.
part of the country that I'm in doesn't provide for this, but I will think of this every time I see someone in LSU branded athletic clothing.
All right, next. I think we just figured out our next member special.
Purple.
Yeah.
Speaking as an academic, that
Yeah.
academic hustle is very accurate and nicely done.
Sarah,
In
you
a
would
college
love
in
to.
a building that's shaped like a skull. What could go wrong?
Sarah, you would love to have some escapism that is closer to your daily
Yes,
grind, right?
yeah.
All right.
So,
What I need is more
Nis-
academic life.
You know, Nis is always hustling about Lizard Folk Social Universe. She wants to improve the lot of her people, so that's why.
all right.
Just
Is
to
it
be
safe
clear,
say that
it's not
you are-
just for lizard folk. The lizard folk just establish it. It's for everybody.
yeah.
Everybody can go. If you
Historically,
qualify,
lizard folk, college or university. Yeah.
Hustling for international
Yeah.
students. Yeah.
Yep.
Is it safe to say that you're going to head to the basement?
Let's do it.
I mean, as soon as we
Yeah.
get our subs,
All right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Head to the sub shop.
Sub shop.
Meatball subs.
You get some subs.
The
you
heart
eat
first.
some subs.
Yep.
You all get the benefit of a full night's rest that you didn't need because you haven't done anything yet.
Yep.
and then back to the administrative building, down to the basement. There's, I imagine you have to go through like a lot of twisting corridors to get there, and you finally arrive at the Department of Library Transit. It's it's like one of those, like, it's got like a drop ceiling and horrible fluorescent lights that flicker way too much. It's
This
kind
is
of
a Succession episode.
concrete floor, but with a kind of like swirling blue magic portal in the middle of it. And there is a gnome staffing the room. He's got like piles of paperwork around him, and then a big like IKEA bookshelf full of various magical ingredients that he might use.
We love
Hello
them.
there.
Hello.
who has the voucher for transportation? Who's
I
carrying
don't
that?
know.
Let's see.
No
Nis-
one picked it up. You have to go back and talk
Oh, no.
to your requirement. It's really
Nis-
awkward.
Nis,
has it.
Nis
Nis has
reaches
it.
and pulls out an extra sub voucher and goes, "Nope, that's not it. This one," and hands him the voucher.
Oh, very good. Bookworm herself. Wow. Second one of those this week.
What was the first one from?
Young Maya Stan Sadar was here just yesterday.
Do you know where he was going?
Let me check. And he flips through a giant binder, and he's like moving his little gnome finger down a long kind of spreadsheet, and he's just like, usually I track the destination here, but it's all smudged out. I'm not sure.
Books.
Can I peek over at the smudge and see if I can like make anything out?
Make out any
Yeah,
letters.
do it.
Is that
Do a
perception?
smudge reading
Yeah.
check.
Yep. Roll smudge reading.
8. That
You
is a
think
smudge.
maybe it was like a stick figure.
I'm gonna say.
Wait,
let me
are you
see.
are you sure we're not
Smudge two.
playing? Are you sure we're not playing 2024 D&D, because there is a de-smudge spell?
I got a 19 on insight into the smudge.
You can't use insight on the smudge.
I can. I'm thinking about what I would have smudged.
You smudge.
It was so earnest. You have to give it to.
I feel bad when I tell people
What
they
would I
can't
do?
do stuff,
I'm not going
but
to
also
stealth
people
the
try.
smudge. I'm not going to survival the smudge.
You can roll
Survival
perception on the
might
smudge.
actually-
I'll let you use your 19 as a perception check if you'd like. This is me being very
Well, then
generous.
it's a 14, but yes. Okay.
A 14. Yeah, you don't think that there was a legible word there.
Even
Oh, it was like a
see.
fertile burtle.
Well,
Yeah.
Tashluta
Like-
it
Oh, a
is
fertile
then.
birtle. Yes.
yeah, I don't.
know the fertile
I'm
birtle
not
well.
familiar with the technical typographic terms, but yes, Micah.
It's fertile birtle. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I must ask for safety reasons. Have any of you teleported before?
Yes.
Surely, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
So you know that the most important thing, this is what we call you get to chart your own course here. So before I activate the spell, the most important thing is that you concentrate really hard on where you're going. Otherwise, it might not work out great.
Hang on. We don't actually know where we're going.
House of the All-Seeing Orb
I've been
touched
there.
that, right?
I've been there.
Oh.
I've been there. So I do know where we're
Can
going.
you describe it for us so that we might better visualize it in our minds?
Can I describe it, Tony?
Yeah, you've been to Tashalar. It's a beautiful land. It's very warm there. They have all these like fancy cultivated gardens. I mean, I guess you could go specifically to the House of the All-Seeing Orb if you wanted.
Just outside the House of the All-Seeing
Yeah.
Orb. I have been past the House of the All-Seeing Orb, so I can see it now. We're going to, as long as they haven't changed the surrounding area, should be
You don't want to accidentally materialize into a park bench or something.
exactly, or like part of a tree. That would not be fun. We should be around the bend, so we materialize not immediately in the front of the House of the All-Seeing Orb, so we get a little bit of, privacy.
Like half a
So-
block away, and
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So just maybe all say it together as a couple practice rounds, half a block away from the House of the All-Seeing Orb in Tashalar.
Half a block away
away
from the House of the All-Seeing Orb
in
in Tashalar.
Good luck! And he pulls a giant Frankenstein switch. You're all pulled into the swirling blue vortex and pulled across, probably not time, but certainly space. There's kind of a ringing in your ears. There's a metallic taste in your mouth. And you all come to in the bright, sunny land of Tashalar down the block from the House of the All-Seeing Orb. That was kind of a weird experience. Some of you maybe can't get over the fact that maybe, like, how do you know that your teeth are all in the right place after that? Like, maybe some of your
Down
teeth
the
just
block.
walked around.
I
From
feel
the
like I
House
saw a
of the
police
All-Seeing
box go
Orb.
past me.
So warm here. Oh, so much
It's
nicer.
very
than
warm.
Warm and sunny.
Now, the House of the All-Seeing
Don't know what
Orb
we're here for.
is the name of a temple. It's
Writing a
almost
new
like
song.
a campus, but they have a huge kind of ivory building with lots of green eyes kind of set into it, and you see all of the various kind of monks of the All-Seeing Orb coming out, and they have this distinctive yellow robes that they wear everywhere.
Does this feel
And-
like a cult to anyone else?
well, what's the difference between a cult and a religion in the
you
world
haven't
of
met
Dungeons
yet?
and Dragons? Basically, it's like it's real estate. It's like, are you underground? You're a cult. Are you above ground? Totally fine.
They were dealing
And,
with mummies, so
A young monk, with a shaved head, runs up to you and says, you were foreseen. You were expected. Please follow me."
Of course.
So,
I guess we go.
And
Yeah.
we do.
Go, let's go.
guess so.
Yes.
and you are brought into the House of the All-Seeing Orb, and into kind of one of the kind of a fancy entryway lobby. Past a bunch of, you see lots of like priests and monks like polishing and sweeping and just generally keeping things really nice. This place is very kind of immaculate, well kept. You're brought into like a big room with a bunch of kind of monks who are sitting there drinking tea, and the junior monk brings you over to a woman with green hair and an eye tattooed on her forehead. And she greets you and says, "Welcome. I am head priestess Shir Andelian. Your coming was foretold. Please have some tea."
I know it.
no.
Yeah, no.
I'm
As
well.
expected.
Yes, well sated. We just came through. Everybody's fine. We had
just had
meatball
meatball
subs.
subs. It was
Exactly.
Full.
They
Might
were,
I
they were
ask?
juicy.
When you say foretold, do you mean foretold because you saw it in a book, or foretold because your magics told you so?
I saw it in a vision this morning.
Can you tell us more of that vision?
It told me that 5 adventurers from Candlekeep would arrive here and meet with me, and some of us would have tea.
So not so much with the 4 on the told.
What about? So, can you tell us of Valen Sarnaster?
Valen Sarnaster. She seems a little surprised that you would ask about him. He is one of our greatest scholars here at the House of the All-Seeing Orb.
Can you tell us more about her?
She is communing with the spirits. She is in private study. I'll be honest. It has been some time. I've never actually met her myself. But she does have
that not
occasional.
strike you as odd?
No, many, in order to see more clearly into the futures that are to come, isolation and quiet is often necessary, and our greatest scholars often live reclusive lives for months, years, sometimes decades at a time. Valen does occasionally have visitors, including another visitor from Candlekeep just yesterday.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
just yesterday. Yeah.
That was Mayastan Sadar.
Indeed,
in fact,
a young dragonborn, very curious fellow.
This says to this person, well, I have had a vision about Valen Sarnaster, and she is up to no good.
Dun dun dun! I pull my phone out and play 3 notes.
I nod.
Yes.
I nod emphatically, and I look straight into this person's eyes, and I say, "I have
Which
a question
ones?
for you. The lady that we're talking to."
Which eyes?
Right, fair. I try to hit all of them at once.
Okay, it is clear one of them is non-functional
Broad
tattoo.
spectrum.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And I say, "How do you personally feel about the undead?" And I make an insight check as she answers.
The undead are a curse against the living, and they are discordant with the natural order of things.
I got a 15. Do I think that she's telling the truth?
Yeah.
Correct answer.
Okay.
Very well.
job.
I
This
say,
is
and
quite
step
an
back.
accusation. Valen Sarnaster is one of our most esteemed monks in all the order.
But yet you haven't seen her in quite so long.
Again, she studies in seclusion. She takes few guests. I deal with her acolyte
Has
when
we would like to meet her acolyte.
Has Zemru Thal come to visit her?
yes, several months ago. They're still meeting. It is not
They're
unusual.
still meeting.
They're still meeting.
Still meeting.
People travel from.
That is a
you
long
are-
meeting. Do they take potty breaks?
That
Well,
was
they-
my
they-
next question.
They study and they meditate, and you're asking some very strange
Who is her
questions and making
acolyte?
some very strange accusations. Her
No one has
acolytes-
accused anyone of anything. We're merely asking
okay,
questions.
We had a
I'm
vision.
gonna roll.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to roll persuasion, and I'm going to try and calm everything down. Okay, so I'm going to say, and we're talking to Sheer and Delian, right?
You are. You're talking to Sharon Delian.
Okay, Sheer and Delian, let me tell you. We simply wish, oh goodness, to understand what has been going on with Valen Sarnaster and the good young gentleman who visited yesterday. His uncle is a bit concerned. He wants to simply check in. We're just doing the good deed of friendship and kindness. And we are also very interested in making a wonderful donation to the House of the All-Seeing Orb for the support of your works. I personally...
And she, unfortunately, is somewhat taken aback by the suggestion of the donation. We have all taken a vow of chastity and of poverty, and we have no need of donations from strange outsiders. But
Your
I
beautiful
will
building,
take
who
you.
keeps it up? How do you do that?
I will take you to Valen Sarnaster, and everything will be cleared up. And such strange people. This is not how how this encounter
Not how
was
the vision
foretold.
went.
But you will meet
We're surprising
Alessia.
like that.
So not so much with the all-seeing orb.
Well, the future is written in pencil, not ink, friend. But Alessia
I
is
hope so.
Valen's assistant. You will meet with her when you enter her domain, and I'm sure this can all be cleared up.
Have you seen the coming clash between the Feywild and the human plane and the material plane?
Yes, it is one of several possibilities. Of course, I'm familiar with it.
Understood. Keep an eye on things. One of your many. Never mind.
Sheer seems kind of offended by all of you, and so she assigns a junior monk to take you to where you need to go next.
Good.
Fair.
The junior monk will want to talk to us.
Hello. This
Hello,
was not
junior
foretold.
Very surprising.
Many things are not foretold, young monk. As someone who has seen 297 summers, I tell you, many things are not foretold.
It's just usually it's like too many things are foretold, and it's making sense of them is what's hard. It's unusual that nothing is foretold, or that the foretellings are told for poorly. But anyway, I've been instructed to take you to the domain of Valen Sarnaster.
Yes, please.
Right this way.
Thank you.
And the monk takes you out of the temple on like a little path around back of the big white ivory temple building, and there's kind of like a nice little garden back there, and he leads the way through the kind of gardens and all the foliage there to a shed.
A shed?
How
Shed?
big is
Shed.
this shed?
Is it a very small shed where big people?
It is a small. It would probably be challenging for more than one of you to really appreciate the shed at a
And the
time. From the inside,
dragonborn
from the
is
outside,
inside as
you can
well.
all appreciate the shed, but from the inside, it seems like it would
Is
be a
it
small
blue?
shed.
I hope it's big.
I know. I was going to
outside.
say it's
Yeah.
almost certainly.
Bigger on the inside.
Almost certainly. After you, junior monk.
Oh, thank you.
I want to say junior mint every time.
I know, same. Yep.
The junior monk takes out a key that Sheer entrusted him with and unlocks the shed. And inside the shed, most of the walls of the shed are kind of covered with little hooks with various gardening implements. But at the back of the shed, at first it looks like just a simple wooden wall, but it starts to kind of twist and turn into a portal.
Where does this portal lead, young monk?
This leads into Valen's sanctum. She has kind of a little demi-plane that is her place for quiet reflection.
I've been around a long time, and I'm not going to play around with possibly getting trapped someplace, so I am going to try to sneakily... Oh, Lord. Okay, I was going to try and take the key, but I'm just going to...
You knock over a bunch of rakes.
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Accidents do happen. I'm just getting a little tired from the meatball subs.
Yeah. To be fair, the key seems to only be
To the shed.
the shed. So
I don't want to be locked in the shed.
I'm sure.
Well, I guess we go to the portal.
I think we can break out of the shed.
all right.
Yeah, Lone Walker has been in a lot of demiplanes lately and isn't keen on it, but steps through.
I'm from a different plane anyway, so we might as well go.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
One by one, you step into the swirling circle that is the plane in the back of the shed. Your second teleportation of the start of the adventure. What a
Shouldn't
way
have
to
had that
design
second
it.
meatball sub.
Yeah, regretting it now.
And you find yourself in some kind of, seems like possibly underground, or I mean, I guess it's not even underground, it's on another plane of existence. But you are in the center of a square room the walls, floor, and ceiling are all
Where
made of kind of glowing crystal, and set in those crystals are kind of images of unblinking eyes. There's a crystal door in the room that swings open, and you see a yellow robed monk of Savras looking at you all expectantly. Just checking, did the map with a weird room with a bunch of eyes in it load correctly for people?
Yes.
Yes. And the bottom part where it said, Comb of Valence Hard.
Yeah, that's probably fine. Did I miss a token? Are you all there? Who am I missing?
We are all there.
Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Yeah,
5. And the priest standing in the doorway says, "Greetings. I sensed your arrival. My name is Alessia."
Hello, Alessia. Are you related to Alessia Cara?
No, my name is
Okay.
Alessia Basir.
Oh.
I don't know how names work where you're from.
I don't know either. I just wanted to, but, well, how, so you sensed our arrival. How did you sense our arrival?
Well, this room is set so that anyone who arrives here I'll be aware of it. It's kind of part of my duties here as a priest of Savras and servant of Lord Sarnaster.
So basically, you have a doorbell. That's great.
Yes, but it's magic.
What type of magic is it?
I think we should play,
Divination.
I think we should play this about that we're looking for the cousin.
Yeah.
Rather than demanding that Valen show himself and all of that. I think we should inquire about the cousin of Bookworm.
Well, Valen is a
Quarrel can
woman,
try.
by the way.
We'll see.
Right.
Just so we remember, Valen Sarnaster is a lady.
Right.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I was confused when she said Lord Sarnaster. I was like, huh?
Well, sorry, maybe
It's okay. Who knows? Could be gender changing. But okay, yeah, I agree. We should play it definitely that way. We're here to find a young dragonborn.
Oh, perhaps you are looking for Mayastan? Well, I'm not. Time works somewhat differently here than it does in the outer world. That's one of the conveniences of this demiplane. But for me, it was about a day ago that he arrived.
Oh, for us, it was 2 years ago.
Oh,
He's been
Curious.
missed terribly.
well, I'm sure he'll be relieved to find out that it's only been a day for him.
Well, will he?
I'm slightly confused. But
Not sure that his uncle is very concerned, or his dragonborn is very concerned.
Yes. His older
Well, I'd be
while
happy
they're
to
all
point you in the right
talking-
direction. Lone Walker, go for it.
While the group is all talking, Lone Walker is kind of standing in the back, muttering to himself, because it takes a second to summon his steed. And so the steed is with him, but Lunareth, for people who've tuned in before, Lunareth Lightstrider was a celestial elk. But because Lone Walker has leveled up, Lunareth now appears, sorry, Tony, last minute here, as a
Just like last
Pegasus. Yeah, just like last time. So now Lunareth is a Pegasus, but I need it doesn't have to actually be a Pegasus on the map. But,
I'm working on it.
Lunareth, my friend, it is so good to see you.
Lone Walker looks at you and says, "I'm sorry, you know of my steed?"
Oh yes, I knew your steed when he was alive, and we've communed on the other planes.
That is fascinating. I will certainly have questions to ask you after we have completed our journey.
I look forward to
Pegasus
our
graphic.
conversation over a hot pot of tea.
I feel like it's getting really crowded in here. If we
Yeah, I don't. Is a Pegasus an indoor pet?
It is today.
We've got
is it
a whole bunch
miniature
of really
Pegasus
tall people
today?
and a horse inside
A winged horse.
A winged horse, those wings.
There it is.
There's the winged horse for you,
Yay,
Micah.
thank you.
All right, I'm just gonna put that in a place with your character so they'll remember it in the future.
Beautiful.
Hold on. Now I need to give you permission to move this winged horse around. I don't want to manage a winged horse. So, Alessia is like, was that winged horse always here?
Lone Walker says, no, but it is now. It's the truth. That's
Yep. Thank you. You never know when you might need a winged horse. It's just good to be prepared.
Yeah, it's very useful inside. I'll just point out you are in this demi-plane that we'll just get it, for convenience sake, call the Tomb of Velen Sarnaster. It is all the walls, floors, ceilings are made of this weird crystal. And it's it's semi-translucent, but there's just nothing beyond them. So there's just like a void. They all kind of glow, so everywhere is kind of dimly lit. Ceilings are usually about 15 feet high. You can see that there is a long hallway beyond the door where
I'd like to do
Alessia is greeting you.
an arcana check on the walls, just
Yep.
to understand what they're made of.
Yep.
Oh,
Do they look
well,
like the crystal on the outside of the book?
They do.
I got a 10.
10. You think they're magic.
Ooh.
Which makes sense. You're in a demi-plane, so it's like would maybe be concerning if they had they really cheaped out and went with mundane walls in this magical demi-plane.
Yeah.
What would you like to do next?
I
Can
guess
you-
just say lead the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Alessia heads down the hallway, motioning for you to follow, and she talks as you walk and says, "Now this demi-plane has been Master Valen has made her home here, and she and various other visitors are used the place for meditation and reflection and study. But I must warn you." That this was a space used by various servants of Savros over the many generations, and some areas of the demi-plane are more dangerous than others. So please be careful.
Not a problem.
She leads the way down to a large kind of T intersection, and she points north. Actually, I guess she passes a passageway off to the south and just keeps going. And then the hallway leads. There's kind of a big T-shaped intersection. The very wide hallway leading north, and kind of normal, appropriate size hallway leading east. Door that went unremarked upon back to the west. And Alessia says, I'll leave you here. If you just keep going straight in this area, you will eventually meet Master Valen and presumably any guests they are in. Hold on, let me get the name of this room right, because it's ridiculous. What is the name of the room that they are meeting in? Yes, they are meeting in the Observatory of Fate. What horrors await our adventurers in the Observatory of Fate? Will they head straight there, or will they explore other side passages of the demi-plane? And what will they learn of the fate of that poor lost librarian, Mayastan Sadar? For answers to questions such as these, sorry, Micah. For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.
Yes.
We've been playing for about an hour, so that seemed like an okay time
Yeah.
to take a break. People want like 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll come back and play some more D&D. Everyone
Sounds
doing
good.
okay?
Sounds good.
So take a
gonna
break,
go.
and Hamilton went off in my head. Take a break.
I'm gonna go get a granola bar.
BRB.
BRB.
I'm gonna
in
feed my
10
dogs.
minutes.
Right.
Do it.
Gotcha.
the role playing bits.
Now we're back,
Good.
as promised.
Yeah. playing
We
Dungeons and
did. We
Dragons.
said we'd be back, and by golly,
we
here
did
we
it.
are.
I had a little countdown timer and everything, and it worked.
Fancy.
Thanks to Jason for doing that, because
So
otherwise,
I love a countdown
I'm
timer.
not sure that would have happened as an ADHD person. I would have been 15 minutes early or 20 minutes late.
The only options.
Yep.
Is everyone either still recording or resuming their recording?
Fine.
Still
We just
recording.
still recording.
Excellent.
On recording.
Yeah, so I apologize to whomever's editing for sounds outside of my office.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
That happens to the best of us.
Yeah. All of us live in places with things, disgusting other things.
So weird.
Yeah, disgusting sounds.
Birds,
9 dogs.
traffics.
Robot
Birds are the
vacuum.
most disgusting of all things, right?
Anything we need to figure out before we dive back into the next episode?
Let's go.
All right. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a dungeon master. Use he, him pronouns. And today we are continuing the Canopic Being from the Candlekeep Mysteries. This is the level 13 adventure. What's going on? Well, a book has caused trouble, as it is wont to do at Candlekeep. But this book is different than other books. Instead of being sucked into a book, this is a book that lists all of the players' names and suggests that they are possibly all mummy thralls. That's right, mummy thralls. Let's check in with each of these possible mummy thralls. First up, Erica Ensign. Erica, how are your organs?
Are you my mummy thrall? Yes,
Creepy.
Erica Ensign, she, her, playing Reed Quarrel, Kill Gareth, also she, her. I am a human cleric of the god Kellamvor, the comforting god of death. I basically look like the Grim Reaper. You can barely see my face.
Also joining us, Micah Sargent.
Hello, I play Ajguri Lone Walker Mako Tatahani, better known as Lone Walker. He and I both use he, him pronouns. He is a Goliath Paladin, and I'm also playing the wonderful Lunareth Lightstrider Mako Tatahani, Lone Walker's Celestial Pegasus, upgraded from a Celestial Elk.
I didn't know that Pegasi had last names, and I don't know why I find that funny. It just seems very, very like businessy for them. So, next up, it's Brian Guffey. Welcome back, Brian.
Hello, my name is Brian Guffey. My pronouns are they, them. I am playing Melius Starsinger, also they, them, an Eladrin bard from the court of the Feywild, and also a member of the Planar Preservationists, who
nice.
seek to make sure that we maintain the boundaries between planes. And I am concerned about what is going on here.
The boundaries between planes are not good. Planar change is happening, people. Next up, it's Sarah Bickerton.
I am Sarah Bickerton, pronouns she, her. I'm playing Vroga Tribesbane, also she, her, a half-orc barbarian, who's just been getting really annoyed at all the talking and just wants to hit something. She doesn't tend to do with the talking in the books and just really wants to get played and doesn't like people. So she's in a really good, happy place right now. Given the fact that she's 6'9" and we apparently are in a corridor.
And last but not least, Jason Snell.
Hey there, I am playing Nis. She is a lizard folk sorcerer, which means green scales, purple robe, lots of spells. Yeah, that's Nis. She's kind of a little bit cranky, but also can be very charismatic when she needs to be.
Yep, this is our tall, cranky group.
Yep.
Let's get that flag made now. So you're in a corridor, just the thrilling escapism of Dungeons and Dragons. You are specifically in, it's not just any corridor, people. It's a magic corridor and a magic demiplane. You have traveled to the demiplane of one Valen Sarnaster, a priest of Savras, god of divination and fates and destinies, to get some questions because something's going on. You do not like that your names are in a book that suggests that you are current or possibly future mummy thralls. There is a librarian missing, people. We got to sort it out. And you have been directed which way to head in order to do that. Valen's assistant, Alessia, says, "This is where I bid you adieu," and she starts heading west, unless you stop her and ask her a bunch more questions.
No, but I would like to look down or up, I guess, the hallway to the north.
Okay.
Just want to see as far as I can see.
Yeah. You see Alessia, by the way, she heads west and turns a little corner and disappears into a room west and I guess south of you. Reed Quarrel, you are looking north, and I don't know, you got good eyes, right? You can probably see a long way.
You got eyes.
Feet at least, if not.
Yeah, you
farther.
can see that the wide corridor goes away until it enters just a warning to players and I guess anyone who might run this adventure in the future. They had like a deal on corridors when they were planning this map. It has the most corridors of any map I have ever seen. So many corridors. This I promise you. You see kind of a strange kind of square shaped chamber ahead, but it squares on an angle, so maybe it's a diamond. And there's some stuff in there. That's what I'm going to tell you from where you currently are. And guess what? You can see in different directions if you turn your neck right. You can see off to the east. There's some other chamber with some strange things going on in there as well. I think you can probably see some mirrors from where you are. So
which direction?
You were directed to go north. If you are interested you were directed that Valen would be studying the futures in the Observatory of Fate, which is where presumably any guests would be with him as well.
Is that the diamond?
The Observatory of Fate is probably beyond the diamond.
Beyond the diamond.
Beyond the diamond.
Good song title.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. As an assistant, I mean, she's like, "Oh yeah, go left, and I'll see you later. I'm on break now." You know, I'm not gonna walk. I'm not gonna walk all the way with you. I've got divination.
She didn't even want to greet us, right? But when the doorbell rings, you got to get up from your desk and go and whatever. Stop your human sacrifice. Whatever.
Another person. Why the heck?
Didn't ask your name. Maybe it was foretold what your names are. I don't know. There's a lot of foretelling. Probably.
Yeah, I feel like she just left us in the middle of the corridor, and it's like
there is not a comment card where you can evaluate her.
I feel like foretelling is used for I want to make an excuse that I know something a lot.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Lone Walker's going to walk down this hall to about
you're going to go the other way.
And then is going to detect good and evil, please.
All right.
Can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell. I doubt that's the case here. Or know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet.
I will remind you, in the previous hour, Alessia did warn you about possible dangers that could be here in the in this demiplane. As you head this way,
I did
you cast Detect Good and Evil. This is definitely not hallowed ground.
Remember, this is the one where good rings like beautiful music, and evil stinks.
Yeah, you detect neither
sulfur,
neither good nor evil.
Okay, so no celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet.
Well, except for
my dear Lunareth.
All right, Lunareth is a celestial Pegasus. Pegasus.
No, not sus. Very
not
good.
Sus.
Very
okay. Pegasus.
Totally.
I would say, Lone Walker, you're there. You can see that there is a strange room beyond. It's almost kind of hard for you to look in that direction. You see your own reflection looking back at you because there's clearly a bunch of mirrors in that large hall.
And is it like frowning at me or not doing what I'm doing?
No, it's just it's like distorted.
Okay,
it's
so
a little
like
funhouse mirrors.
Yeah. Got it.
It's just like it's a mirror.
Nis theatrically clears her throat, suggesting that perhaps we should go the direction that our hosts suggested that we go instead of wandering off.
I am on board with Nis.
Yeah, the Rogue is very much like, dude, we got told to go this way to find the kid.
Nis has also got her eye on Lone Walker, so.
Okay.
I'm coming up here to look in that room better.
All right. Melius heads to the front of the pack and looks in. There is a large square chamber here. It's kind of weird because it's like not quite in alignment with the grid of the dungeon. And there is a crystal-lined dais at the center. That's what that yellow square in the center of the chamber is, and you see a set of fancy double doors to the north and a hallway heading
Dumbledore?
off to the west.
Double doors.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Shoot,
you
no,
know
anything
what?
on the
I think
dais?
they said to keep going north.
on
was
the
the way
dais?
to
On
go.
the dais?
Melius, just because you were there,
the dais, on the
as you
dais.
kind of step or onto the threshold of this room, you get a sudden pulse of psychic energy that is radiating from that dais in front of you.
Okay. Interesting. What did it tell me? Anything? Did it hurt?
Give me a perception check.
Perception check. Let's do it. Let's see here. Come on, dice. Well, nope. I got a 7.
Something weird must be weird about that dais, but you don't know what that is.
Interesting.
As other people follow in behind you, you also get kind of like just like this weird psychic twinge as to the nature of that dais.
How about
okay,
a 21?
21. Wow, critical perception. Lone Walker, with your eagle eyes, you notice that set into the dais, which seems to just be made of like a single giant piece of crystal, but you're in a magical demiplane, so anything is possible. But you notice the hilt of a sword kind of embedded in the dais, like within the crystal.
Wow, if I was
But not
Elivor,
sword in
I
the
would be
stone on
pulling
the
that
top.
thing out.
Right.
Well, it's not on top.
I was
It's like
gonna say.
inside. Yeah.
Oh, so you'd have to like break the crystal to
You'd
get
have
at
to break the crystal to get it.
Okay.
Lone Walker does inspect it a little more closely, perhaps an Arcana. What are we thinking? Or more perception? What do you
Is
think?
it
Or
a display
investigation?
case?
Well, if a display case was a rock that could not
It
be
gave off
opened.
psychic energy.
Yeah, that gave off psychic energy. So yes,
think-
yes, it is.
I don't know what they store things in this demiplane. I've never been here
Yeah,
before.
maybe Arcana.
yeah.
Lone Walker looks at it.
too.
It's like, I don't know. Clearly, something about the rock was weird because it made you feel things. Is it the rock? Is it the sword in the rock?
I don't even know what you're looking at. I rolled a
Yeah,
five.
so Lone Walker points and says, perhaps someone else could give this a closer look.
Okay, I rolled an 8
All
with a
right.
5, so it's a 13.
And what type of skill are you rolling, Sarah?
Perception?
Perception. I mean, you see that there's a thing in there, and I mean, why would somebody put a sword hilt in a crystal unless it was super important, right?
Okay, I'll roll Arcana.
I got a 10 as well. I got rolled Arcana, got a 10. Like, what the heck?
25.
Oh,
25.
There we go.
You sense, Nis, that someone has like magically built this crystal around that hilt in order to presumably protect it. So that, make it really hard to steal.
I convey that to the group.
You can tell that it is basically enchanted such that like it will kind of like heal itself if it gets scuffed or damaged.
And it's
The
just
crystal.
a hilt, not an entire sword.
Looks like just a hilt.
So
Okay.
is anybody wanting to pull the sword and the stone?
So it's tricky because the sword, no
You
part of the
can't 'cause it's
sword is
super
like
embedded.
You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
hack the sword. In the
You would have to
And it
smash
seems
them.
like the
on-
crystal itself gets
Also, we're guests here. Maybe keep
Yeah.
on going.
Miss,
Yes.
It could be really great for your school. Who knows? You could say.
I don't like that there might be a undead lord here, but walking into somebody's place
but it's rude to take things.
and breaking stuff, it seems like a little bit abrupt.
That's fair. All right. Well, we're at the doors now.
Is there
right,
anything
so-
visible from the other
You
side, or is
roll
it
with
just
your-
the one?
Just the one what?
Is there just the one thing that's in there, or is there something
Yeah.
else visible from this side?
Big dais with sword hilt in the middle
Just
of it.
one hilt. Okay.
One hilt. Just one hilt.
And what's down the hallway?
You look to the west, and there is a long hallway heading off to the west, and then it turns north.
She
There are
said
also-
to go this direction. I don't think we need to go west before we go north
No,
to find
yeah.
the librarian. So I guess it's.
I
these
listen
doors?
at the door, but I didn't roll well, so I don't hear anything, I imagine.
Thank you. Well, you don't even need me for this adventure, Micah.
As long
Roll.
as we keep rolling like crap. No,
Yeah.
we don't.
Yep.
I want to see how I do. Oh, I got a 15.
That's not bad.
You don't hear anything.
Cool. Great.
Should we knock Or should we just
No,
enter?
I open the door.
Okay.
Okay, the door has been opened.
That's some Jason Snell energy there, Erica.
Yep.
Reed Coral flings open the crystal doors. They slam against the walls.
No,
and echo and
that is not my style. It's just opening a door.
Reed Coral opens the door carefully with care. There's a long hallway beyond, and guess what? At the end of that hallway,
carefully means
more double doors. So many hallways.
All right, off we go.
Well, let's go.
Okay.
All
right.
Heather.
I'm already tired of walking.
I'm opening the next door.
Beautiful.
You know, if you could teleport places, why wouldn't they just make stuff closer together?
I should just face step all over the place.
I mean,
Yeah.
you get a demi-plane, it's theoretically infinite. You don't need to make it actually infinite.
It feels like probably somebody was building their first demi-plane and they got carried away, you know. Like
Dial
I guess
points.
I would build like a tiny
Mother
house
load
semi-plane,
cheat.
you know.
Yeah, just like straight up with like elevator or something.
Yeah. Who will open the next door?
I already said I was doing it.
Reed Coral already said they'll do it.
Good job,
The
RQ.
chamber beyond is
Holy
immense. And also they provided a side view of this chamber, which I think is confusing, but I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
So that you're
because-
not the only one confused.
So that you're not the only one confused. So it's over. Hold on. I'm going to bring you over here. It's on the side of the map. Look at that thing.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
really doesn't make any sense.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
let me see. So where do we
Where is
come
it?
in?
Well, that's a side view. So that's like a cutaway. So let me tell you about
Are
this
we
room.
down at the bottom or are we?
Nope. I think that rectangle in the middle is like the door.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, and it goes down. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay. So let me describe it.
Still
This will help a
bad.
little bit. This immense chamber is edged by a broad floor surrounding a sunken lower level gallery, and then which is reached by sloping ramps. So let me see here. I'm going to put little arrows on the map to help. So you can see there's kind of like the edge of this thing, and then hold on. There's little ramps
Yes.
that go down to like a another kind of area that goes around it. But then kind of in the middle of the room, there's just a big old pit. And deep down in that pit, it's a relatively well lit pit. You can see a huge stone sarcophagus at the bottom of that pit. And also, you know, classic Dungeons and Dragons, Tony reads a room description. On the far side of the room are two creatures that are kind of looking at you, and they both look humanoid at first, but they've got every now and then the light like kind of catches them, and they have this very kind of strange crystalline looking appearance, and their eyes are definitely kind of glowing with like an amber energy.
Amber.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Hello.
Are they undead?
Yeah.
Roll something to determine if they are undead. Reed Coral.
Wait,
Like
can I though? Two of us said words to them. I
Yeah.
said
Yes, we
hello.
said- and I said, who are
They
you?
respond at all?
They're about to, but I figured I'd let Reed Coral
gotcha.
get a.
Yeah. I just wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you heard us, that's good.
Just trying to see if I have like a spell that could. Yeah, that would have been helpful, but no, I'll just roll Arcana and hope to roll well. Which it's certainly not my my strength. 13.
You think that these are constructs?
Okay, then
Interesting.
I just say under my breath, constructs.
And the constructs speak. Both of their mouths open, and you get kind of like a horrible, weird stereo voice as they both say the same words in unison.
That's not weird at all.
Your arrival was foretold. I cannot allow you.
Again? Seriously?
I cannot allow you to interfere with my ascension. And the constructs, let's just call them golems, take kind of aggressive stances, and they're going to roll initiative.
I'm sorry.
They're protecting the undead. I am all about bashing them.
Oh wait, what do I have to do? Okay, I have to select. So I try. Oh, I know what I have to do. I think I remember now. I have to select my token.
Select your token first, and then
Yeah.
I am also happy to put in initiative.
Yeah,
for
if you
people in
can.
the
I
thing.
have the 13.
13 for Melius. Sarah, were you able to roll initiative for Vraga?
Hang on. 1 second. I'm still looking at the side view on.
Oh,
on
haha.
things.
let's
bring
get
you.
you back. Yeah.
Pew.
Thank you. Okay.
This is also, it's a very giant map, so scrolling around is not trivial.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Initiative. There we go. 9.
9, putting that in. Does the Pegasus get its own initiative?
I'm looking at that now.
Or does it just go?
If it's a steed, it's way better to have the
Just go
steed
with
go on
you.
your turn, because otherwise it gets really confusing if you want to go somewhere and your steed
Yeah.
is not moving.
True. Yeah,
I want to
I'll
go
just
there
have it go
eventually.
on my turn. Yeah.
All right, let's look at this here. Our order for combat is going to be Reed Quarrel, Melius, the 2 constructs, Vroga, Lone Walker, and Nis. And just to paint the picture again, you're in this immense chamber, huge pit with a sarcophagus kind of in the middle. On the far side of the chamber are these weird crystal golems that spoke to you in stereo. I always just say things are real big. How big are they, Tony? The crystal golems are like 135 feet away from you. This chamber is like 150 feet long, 100-ish feet wide, and the pit is a known amount, but really deep with a sarcophagus at the bottom of it. There is kind of this sunken layer to the pit that you could walk around on ledges here. I kind of wish this map had higher contrast, but that's that. Any questions before we jump into combat? All right, Reed
None thus
Coral,
far.
you are first.
Okay. So how many feet away are these guys? My goodness.
135. I just measured it.
That's
There
a
may
lot.
be a first round or two of people moving
Walking.
because it's a big old room.
Yeah. Well, I'm level 13. I've been around. I don't know how much I've seen of constructs. Do I know anything about whether like necrotic damage is going to hurt a construct, or
You would. I'm
are
going to
they
say at level
immune
13.
to poison, like any of that
Yeah.
kind of stuff? Yeah.
I think you would probably. You're level 13 adventurers. You know stuff. Level 13. A construct would be immune to poison. They're immune to being charmed and frightened and paralyzed. Very few things I think in Dungeons and Dragons are immune to necrotic damage, and constructs are not one of those things. So necrotic damage is would be
Right.
effective on them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'd like to walk around to get to them, but I'm just going to take one move action, and then I think that gets me within 100. You said it was 130 feet
Yeah.
that we were away, so I'm now within 120 feet.
Hey, I have some spells that are 120 feet range too.
Yep.
Funny, can't see that.
So with one hand, I grasp the symbol of Kelimvor at the nape of my neck of my cloak, and with the other hand, I point at the one on the left.
Yep.
And I say, "Today is your day," and I cast Chill Touch. And yep. So let's
Get 'em.
see. I have to attack. I rolled a 3. My rolls have been very, very poor, except for some reason I got really, really high on initiative. Whoopee! And yeah, so I'm pretty sure that doesn't hit. What is my? I don't even know what I have to add to that, but I'm assuming it's probably not enough to hit.
What kind of attack was that, out of curiosity?
It's a ranged spell attack to assail it with the Chill of the Grave.
Yeah,
On a hit, it would take. necrotic
It
damage.
misses. And you know what? Not only does it miss, the golem just kind of like swats it away, as if it was nothing to it.
Did I recognize that move as something? Should I roll Arcana or history?
Yeah, roll an
or
Arcana
something?
check.
Okay. 2. I told you my rolls are bad. I think I need to switch dice.
Yeah.
I'm switching dice.
Okay. All set, Erica.
Oh,
Yes.
All right. I see the Pegasus in the order. Am I leaving the Pegasus there, or how?
No, you can take it out. Yeah.
All right. Malleus, you are next. You stand in the doorway, approximately to this huge chamber. Reed Quarrel has run in. 2 weird crystal golems are so far away.
They are really far away. Okay, so I can say, okay, so my speed is 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, how far is that here?
It's about 6 squares.
Okay. I can't see the squares. Oh, no.
Yeah, they're tricky.
Yeah, sorry, they're low. They don't show up very high on the yellow thing that
So I can't get very far in. It sounds
No,
like.
not right away. You can't probably.
So we're just going to start to move in.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go.
Okay.
And is there anything else I would like to do? Let's see, what can we do? Maybe help some folks out as we go here to give us some benefits.
Some inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to, okay, good old, okay, here we go. There we go. I had accidentally made it too small. Yes, let's do, all right, what do I have there? Yeah, inspiration. Let's give bardic inspiration to Reed Quarrel.
Very nice. And what
All right.
is bardic inspiration
die?
at this level? What
At
die
this
do you
level,
get
it's a
to hit
1d10.
on? Wow.
Ooh.
Nice.
Look at you. Fancy
All right.
pants. Right. I'm setting that aside. I have a black D10 with gold
Spooky.
numbers, which I will use
All right.
henceforth.
All set, Brian?
Yes.
All right, constructs go next. So they're on the far side of this huge room with a pit with a kind of walkway around it. And basically, one construct's going to go left and one construct's going to go right. They kind of slowly lumber. I shared some art of what these shiny, they're called canopic golems, look like. They lumber around the edge of the chamber. They're not the fastest thing, but I'm just checking is how far, what can they hit? So... measuring things on maps is always fun. All right. The canopic golems hold up their arms and like crystalline darts fire out of their arms in the direction of Reed Quarrel and Malleus, who just happen to be the closest. They get to do 2 attacks each. So I'm going to do 2 attacks on Reed Quarrel and then 2 attacks on Malleus. Reed Quarrel, I have rolled a 24 and a 12.
The 12 does not hit.
Good luck. I'm glad to Reed Quarrel.
Okay. Malleus, I have rolled a critical and
Oh no.
critical fail. Wow, give and take.
Okay, well, the
All right.
critical hits.
So this critical is going to do 21 damage to you. You took 1 non-critical hit, Reed Quarrel. That's going to do 14 damage to you. As this just like giant shard of crystal just like slices through your side. Very unpleasant.
Is it just like piercing damage?
It is force damage, which is actually one of the more annoying damages to mitigate. They're magic. Sarah, Veroga is next. Welcome to your first turn of combat in Dungeons & Dragons. If we can answer any questions for you or anything, don't hesitate to ask them.
Yeah, I probably will. I mean, it's like the only thing Vroga has that does range things is
Little axes.
a little. Well, I've got a light crossbow and a javelin. So I think the javelin, what is it's a 120. So
I think from where you are, you could move and be move in 30 feet, and then you'll be 120 feet away from one of them. So probably just pick which direction do you want to head, left or right.
And the 120 is at a far distance, so I believe you have to roll
it
with
at
disadvantage.
Disadvantage, so it's a hard.
How
hit to make.
how much damage did I take again, just to make sure?
I think I said 21.
It was 21 to you
21.
and 14
Cool.
to me.
All right,
Correct.
let me just. Woo,
Okay,
all
so
right.
I've got 40 feet of speed.
Okay.
So,
Oh, nice. A little bit more. Yep.
okay, so how much is, sorry for the stupid question, how much is each box to move forward?
5.
Five. So you get to
Okay,
go
so
8 boxes.
1, 2, 3,
And you can move diagonally.
4, 5. That's 25. Hang on, what? How much is each box again?
5.
5.
5. Okay, so I can go 8. Right.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. So I'm around
Yep.
the corner here. Right. Okay. So is it worth me? It's like, okay, here's a genuine question. Is it worth me throwing a javelin on
It's
disadvantage?
always worth throwing a javelin.
Well,
Okay,
I mean, it depends
well,
on how
I
many
don't know.
javelins you have.
Yeah.
Because you don't have infinite javelins. However, you said you do have some other.
Yeah, crossbow and 2 hand axes. But they're, yeah.
I would throw a javelin.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a javelin.
Yeah. So the downside here is you are at disadvantage. As you get closer, you could eventually get to normal range and not be at disadvantage. There is a tactical question here of theoretically, is it better to just move now and take your action dash and move? But I feel like just morale wise, you want to throw a javelin.
Yeah, I want to throw.
So you throw a javelin. The sad thing is disadvantage. So roll twice and take the lower. And this is going to be a hard shot, but I don't think you came to Dungeons and Dragons to not throw javelins. So
Okay, quick mechanics question. How do I what do I tap on in D&D Beyond in order to throw a
So
javelin?
in order to throw the javelin, you will see the part that says hit/DC so you're on the actions page, the actions tab.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
And then you see hit/DC, just click on that and that should make it
second.
appear somewhere.
There, yep. Okay, so hit plus there we go.
There we go.
14.
And then do it one more time. You're at disadvantage, so that means you roll 2 and you take the lower of the 2. So 14
the good one was 21 and the low one is 14.
I'm 21. Let me tell you, that would have been great. 14, your javelin. It's hard. You're throwing it across basically like a football field here. I don't actually know how big football fields are. Your javelin soars across the room and clatters to the ground near the crystal golem. You're free to go pick up javelins after the fight if you want. Some people love tracking that kind of some stuff, and some people do not and just buy a lot of javelins.
Well, I mean, I
so
don't
they never
track
have to think about it.
arrows, but javelins, like, I feel like reality-wise.
So I'm
Okay. The key thing is so your ability to do that more than 4 times a fight is limited. So you're going to throw 4 javelins potentially, and then you're going to have to use some axes. All right.
But yeah, Vroga's all
Or arrows.
bollocks.
Yeah. Lone Walker, you're next.
Lone Walker on the back of Lunareth. Oops, now I've got to switch back. Takes off in flight to here.
Oh, I bet a Pegasus has a very good speed, huh?
Yeah, as you see Lone Walker touch down with Lunareth, suddenly both of them are surrounded in mist, and they appear right in front of Zemru or this Canopic Being as
you get
Misty
close,
Step.
you get the somehow as if it's labeled in Roll20 that this Canopic Being has some connection to Zemrothal. Somehow you just know this. It was foretold.
And for the rules lawyers out there, yes, you can cast a spell on your steed as well, your summoned steed as well. So that's why Misty Step works for both of us. All right. As I appear...
So you have used the ability of magic and a magic Pegasus to get very, very far.
Yes, except that Misty Step is a bonus action, so I'm going to swing.
Okay. I was going to say, I made fun of you for summoning an inside horse, but then there were these giant chambers, and who looks foolish now?
Yay! So let's go in with a Warhammer attack.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does not hit one of these crystal golems, which suggests they are not easy to hit, because 16 hits a lot of monsters in D&D.
Let me see. I've got a thing that does a thing. Oh no, that's for me. Okay. Okay, let me go ahead and try again because I get 2 attacks. Once again with the Warhammer. So Lone Walker magically appears in front of the Canopic thingy, swings twice. But look, there was a lot of movement going on. So he's a little stressed out and misses with both of those attacks.
All right. Nis, you are next. You are the last character across the threshold. It looks like half the group has gone left and half the group has gone right. What will you do? You can always go down into the pit and party with that sarcophagus.
That's great. I'm decisions. Nis has been thinking about these golems are tricky because they're strong.
They are. Yeah, you've seen a 16 does not hit.
Yeah.
And this is this is a level 13 adventure. I think we have not played that many high level D&D here on Roll20. So these are tough creatures.
All right. I am going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast Storm Sphere on the golem to our left that is not engaged with Lone Walker. A 20-foot radius sphere of whirling air springs into existence. I'm going to center that on a point in front of the leftmost golem so that it is in the sphere, but that it's got the rest of the radius in front of it.
Mm-hmm. What level are you casting Storm Sphere at?
At 4.
Okay.
It is, let's see. So it needs to make, and I know they're strong, it needs to make a strength saving throw.
The golem?
The golem.
This is like the golem. This is 16 didn't hit.
Bailiwick.
Was like bad. No. I'm preparing you for bad news. I have bad news and I have bad news. Bad news, 16 didn't hit. Bad news number 2, you cast Storm Sphere on a golem. The golem does not make that saving throw because it automatically succeeds.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Yes.
Against storms?
You suspect that this golem has some level of spell immunity, Nis.
Wow.
What?
Is that why you asked me what level I cast it
Yes.
at?
Yes.
I see.
And that perhaps if you cast an extremely high level spell, it would not have been effective. But at the level you cast it at, it basically had, unless, I don't know if Storm Sphere does anything on a miss.
It doesn't. However, the sphere. So this is my question: is all right? This is so it's the save. I will be able, if I maintain the sphere, I'll actually be able to maintain. It will do some lightning bolts, but at that point, it's just a straight up attack as opposed to a save.
I tell you, and those attacks miss too. So
okay, well then I won't. So a storm sphere appears and then disappears, and Nis goes, "Oh boy." All right.
Yeah, so Nis the sorcerer casts a powerful magic spell here to bring like a swirl of lightning and thunder into this tomb, and you just use magic against the thing that, as far as you can tell, is immune to, a lot of magic.
Ouch.
Yeah, which, there was no way to find out except through the painful lesson of experience. Nis, are you happy where you are, or do you want to move around?
I am going to stay right here.
All right. That is the end of round 1. So far, the horrible crystal canopic golems have laid out some damage via their crystal darts, and no one has managed to scratch them yet. Reed Quarrel, you're next.
Really far away.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm just going to continue trudging.
Yep. Why didn't you bring a Pegasus like Micah
I
did?
really should have.
Micah, did you bring enough Pegasus for everyone?
For the class?
Yeah.
All right.
I think you find they're called Pegasi.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not like I'm a cleric. I'm not a sorcerer. Did I understand what just happened?
Yeah,
or...
I think I think everyone in the room, unless you chose to not observe it for whatever reason, you just saw that this thing is pretty hardy against magic.
This is a problem.
So it can just make its saving throws without actually having to
Yeah.
roll them. Is basically the mechanic of it.
Also, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Level 13 D&D people. It gets things get weird.
All right. Well, then I guess I'm just gonna double move.
Okay.
Or yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Yep, that's it.
Melius, you're next.
Okay, so I can, from what I can tell here, I have Face Step. Face Step can teleport me up to 30 feet.
Yep.
It's a bonus action. So then
Yep.
after I do that, I can also move, right?
Yeah, do it. So you're
Okay.
going to travel 60-ish feet, I imagine.
I am going to travel 60 feet.
You can also probably maybe cut the corner on that pit by teleporting on a diagonal across it. I don't know.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Everybody loves it when we count
5,
squares. That's the classic Dungeons
6.
and
Good
Dragons.
podcasting.
Bam.
Yeah.
And actually, I may not even need to move. Hold on again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Yeah, this is going to be within 90 feet, which is excellent, because then I'm going to cast the 7th level spell,
Ah,
Wow.
Mordenkainen's Sword. Mordenkainen's Sword, I'm using my dagger, which I've decided is a miniature sword, because it requires that as a component. It uses concentration. Okay, so first of all, how do I cast this spell? What do I click buttons? What do I do first?
So for you, you're going to want to be in the spell tab, which I'm sure you
Yep.
are. And then you would click cast on the left side.
All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. So this thing, let's see what happens. Okay, it's going to be, that's,
So it looks like it's a 13 to hit with it.
oh no, I'm not going to hit. Am I?
you're not going to hit. But I believe you now have like a floating magic sword. Is that how Mordenkainen's
It is how
sword works?
Mordenkainen's sword works. Yes, I have a floating sword.
Also, it's 7th level, so the golem is powerless to avoid it. I'm impressed that you can cast a level 7th level spell.
Yeah, because yeah, absolutely, yeah. I decided to take some spell learnings.
There you go.
As a bard.
Nice.
Also, this spell does a lot of damage. Let's see. Until the spell ends, and you can concentrate on it for a minute, which is a long time in
Yep.
D&D. You can also now use it as a bonus action on each of.
Oh, that's great.
Oh wait, no. Haha.
I can take a bonus action to move it,
Move it. Sorry, I
and then I can use it to attack.
Well, technically, swiping with it would be moving it, right, Tony?
But also, can I still repeat the attack if I don't? I guess as it stays, I don't have to cast it again. So then I just run the spell attack, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Gotcha. Well, I
Nice.
hope it doesn't hit me and I lose concentration.
No, wait. I'm sorry. I'm parsing this. I think I'm parsing this. I think you can do in the future a bonus attack on each of your turns.
Ah, right. And bonus
Right.
action to move it and repeat the attack. Okay.
Yeah. So I think you can just from now on, well, for a minute, which is 12 rounds of combat, you can do that. I would imagine even now.
I did the bonus action
Oh, to cast.
to
So
move.
got it. So you don't have a bonus action.
Yeah, I
to
should
use.
have just moved and then used it because I didn't need.
It
Well, no,
happens.
because I couldn't have jumped over the ledge. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Cool.
so there is now a magic floating sword in the vicinity of the left golem.
Nice.
All right, maybe you're not all doomed. Let's see.
Somebody want to protect me?
The golem is next. The golem on the left lurches toward Reed Quarrel, is not quite close enough, is going to fire darts at you. What it wants to do is pummel you with its crystal hands that look kind of like giant hammers, which are actually worse than these crystal darts. Reed Quarrel, 22 and 29.
Those both hit.
Yeah, that is 14 force damage each, 28 force damage
Right.
total. And Lone Walker,
Yes.
the rightmost golem is going to try and beat you to death with his giant crystal hands.
I mean, fair.
14 and 21.
I'm
Pointing out, I'm
afraid.
using Erica's dice against her.
Thank you.
Not again.
The 14 does not hit.
21
And I
does.
guess I guess.
I'm sorry, that is 27 force damage as you get walloped in the gut with a giant crystal fist / hammer.
How much? 27?
27.
Okay, I would like
Level
for that to
13.
not be 27. So
You doing
let
something?
me. Yeah, I'm doing a thing. I just have to remember where it is. All right, that is reduced by 12
All
because
right.
of stone's
Stone's
endurance.
Yeah.
27. All right, so then 15 damage.
All right. Vroga's next, followed by Lone Walker, followed by Nis. Vroga, what would you like to do?
I would like to actually go into rage right now because she's been a little bit pissed
Yeah.
for a while.
Understandable.
Yeah, because and the javelin incident, which we won't talk about. Particularly because rage has got like resistance to bludgeoning, which I feel, given the hammer hands, might be a good
They
thing
actually,
to do.
unfortunately, do force damage, but
they're also
rage still
force.
has lots of benefits.
Rage is-
Yeah, 100%. At this point, I think the good approach is just to like move.
Yes.
So it's like, can I move twice? Given I'm not doing anything else. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's called using
You
the
can.
dash action, but yeah, so
But
you
you
do
might-
that.
You might not want to rage then, because I think if you don't attack or if you're not damaged on a turn, your rage subsides.
So you might wait until you're closer to rage.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I can hold her back a little bit.
You can be angry, but not rage.
Yeah, it's like I'm a little bit peeved right now. Like perturbed.
So I think, because you said your speed was 40, so I think
40.
you can go 80 if you move and then
Yeah.
dash.
Okay. Does it? Quick question: does going on the diagonal count as just one of those
Correct.
fives?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got.
You just can't go over the pit without jumping over it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
All right. You are closing in on the rightmost one.
Yeah.
On your way.
Still a ways to go. Lone
This
Walker.
is like 3-day hike.
I'm sorry, I did not mean for our first encounter to be in the biggest room ever. If only you
At
had
least
gone-
it's not on
If
hills.
only you had gone into one of the. I was thinking about the. Oh man,
hills.
the lowest parts in my Dungeons and Dragons. Thing in Curse of Strahd, where I created a hill so big.
The in person
even
I'm
I
running
could
is
not
Curse
go
of
up it.
Strahd, and I'm so they're gonna hate those hills.
Maybe there's just no hill. What if that's just a field?
Maybe maybe I'm flattening it out.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll be running up that hill to make a deal with God. Who knows? So
Oh my God.
Thank you. You see, I was hoping I was gonna have to do it myself because we know that's a party foul to acknowledge your own reference. So you see Lone Walker grab his weapon, and as he does, he mutters a few words, and suddenly sort of divine golden light surrounds it as he basically makes his weapon magical, adding a +2 to the attack. So that will be +12 instead of +10. So ignore that because it's actually 30. I know a 30 hits.
A 30 hits. If 30 doesn't
Alright.
hit, something very 30. I
I
think a
agree.
30 will
Something
hit
has gone
a
wrong if
variety of
30
the
doesn't hit.
lesser gods in Dungeons and Dragons. So,
Okay, so that's automatic. So I want to do the hit, which is this. Okay, good. It automatically added that. So that's 16 damage for that first hit.
16
And then-
damage, the first damage to these
Yay.
terrible golems, suggesting that this fight is not going to end this episode.
16 hits, right? Or do we?
16
14
does not
didn't hit
hit.
before. 16 doesn't hit even. Okay.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, because I got a 16 last time. That's right. Okay. So yeah, the first hit strikes out and boom.
All right, you smash the golem in the side, a bunch of crystal shards fly off, but then your follow-up strike goes wild.
And then Lunareth, well, I should be calling her Light Strider because that's her given name. Anyway, she reels up and tries to smack the golem.
Horse punch a golem. Yep.
Unfortunately, I know an 8 does not hit.
Yeah. All right. I think, Jason, we are around to you. Nis is dealing with a classic sorcerer's dilemma, which is what
Should I come in the room?
what does a magic user do against things that seem to be highly immune to magic?
Yeah.
You've had a long time until we got around to you. I imagine you have a great strategy you figured out.
Well, Nis was like, okay, a lower level spell didn't hit them.
Yeah.
Let's try a higher level spell.
Let's do it, Miss. Come on.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say, I know this is the first fight of the adventure, but these are not trivial.
No.
This is not a room full of cultists. It does not necessarily hurt to use some of the your big high level
Tony.
things here.
Wait, I'm on it. Nis points a finger at the right golem and casts
Right, golem.
Finger of Death, a 7th level spell.
Yes, come on, Miss.
Finger of death.
Finger of Death.
Yeah, baby.
I don't think I've seen
You
Finger
guess
of
which
Death yet.
finger
I
it
know where
is,
that finger
Tony.
has been.
Guess which finger it is.
Okay. I can read between the lines.
It's the pinky.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, it's so
Finger
is.
of
Pinky of death.
I need you to make. I need your golem, not you personally, to make a Constitution save.
All right. Their constitution is pretty good because they're made of crystal.
But not as good as a pinky.
But not, I mean, well, we'll find out if it's good enough. I got an 11. I'm not optimistic.
You failed.
Well, I failed, but I'm the dungeon master. I always win.
I know. It's weird.
Go Pinky of death.
What happens on a finger of death?
What happens now? 69 damage.
Okay.
69. Nice.
I imagine necrotic damage, hence the finger.
Necrotic damage, yes.
All right. All right. Now we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, people. So this is not just the story of how you all got murdered by a crystal golem. That was a good turn, Jason.
Great.
Anything else? Do you want to move? You like being in the doorway?
I should mention
There's a very big chamber in front of you.
for the rules lawyers out there who are concerned, I took a sorcery point to double my range so that I could take that attack from right where I am.
Nice.
Very nice.
Wow, we've got multiple people who are worried about the rules lawyers today.
Yep.
Now let's
Yep. I mean, I took it, but Tony might be concerned. Like, boy, that spell's only got a 60-foot range. Don't worry about it. I got it. I'm on it.
He's got it.
All right. I'm just checking. I forget exactly when we started. I think maybe we want to do another round.
26 after.
Yeah.
And we do another round of combat,
Yeah.
and that may be it for the adventure. See how fast we can get.
I hope it's not it for the adventure.
Yeah, damn.
Tony.
You all die. I
been a
mean, your
long
characters
time
all
since
die.
If y'all, as long as y'all jump within 60 feet of me, I can mass healing word you.
Yeah,
so.
there you go.
I think I can too.
Erica, Reed Quarrel is next. Brian, you're on deck.
Yep.
Yeah, I just realized both of the healers. Well, I guess Lone Walker probably has some healing as well. But
Yeah, you're all tall. You all
in
heal.
ones.
It's not a
Yeah, it
contest.
sucks.
Yeah, we got
I
a
have
little
also be
close to
up front
things.
to find.
Yeah.
Okay, so a 7th level spell definitely worked. A 4th level spell definitely did not. Did I get any impression from the way that the magic hit the construct to can I guess what level of spell would actually be effective?
I will tell you because I feel like I feel like there's just a thing where you're high level adventurers. There's more stuff you would just kind of know. These golems have what's called limited spell immunity, and it basically limited makes it sound like, oh, it's not so bad, which means that spells lower than 7th level are not going to have an effect on them.
Woo.
Okay, so it has to be 7th level. All right, well, okay. I guess we're just burning all of our really big spells here because I hurt.
Maybe Valen's just like a guy.
We can only hope. So I'm going to walk up to this thing and hope that this works.
You could use your glaive or scythe on it.
I'm not going to use the glaive because I would like to instead use Vampiric Touch.
Oh, spooky. Whoa. Were you all like undead or super bad, but Vampiric Touch?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Just a classic hypocrite.
Fight fire with fire.
sometimes you have to. Yeah, sometimes you have to. You have to learn about the enemy and about how they work in order,
and then
to
use their
take them down.
undead, unnatural abilities every day.
I mean, there are spells that my character has access to that I would never ever use. Like I would never animate dead. That would be
that would be
anathema.
bad.
But
Yeah.
Vampiric touch is just stealing the life force of something that
bit.
is trying to do anathema. Therefore, it's totally fine.
It's just a
So-
name. It's not, you didn't learn it from a vampire.
Yes. So vampiric touch, I can siphon the life force from others to heal my wounds. So the scary thing is, I have to make an attack, and I'm worried that I'm not going to hit. But we're
You
gonna
have
try.
that inspiration. Don't forget, I gave you bardic inspiration.
That's right. I have bardic inspiration. I have
You also
actual
have
inspiration.
inspiration.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 7. I think I'm just going to use my regular inspiration first.
Good idea.
Okay, so that time I got a 14 plus 7 is 21. So I think I'm actually going to save the bardic
Yeah?
inspiration because we've already seen a 21 hit before, correct?
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay, so now there are shadows wreathed around my hand, and I reach out and I put my palm. First, I point at it, and then I put my palm right on its chest, and life force spills out of it. It's going to take 3d6 necrotic damage.
3d6 necrotic damage.
Yep, and then I'm going to get half of that in hit points.
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah. All right. So 3d6 is 6, 7, 8, 9. That was not as good of a roll as I was hoping for. 9 necrotic damage,
And a little for you.
and a little bit for me. Hang on. Wait. Why does it say 7d6? Haha. Because I'm such a high level. So hang on a second.
Get-
Let's add a few more.
Add 4 more
Right,
d6.
more.
Plus 6, 12. Wow. Okay, 20 more.
29 damage total.
Yes. It's like, that
All
doesn't
right,
seem like a lot.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And then I will take back half of that in hit points. So, where's my hit points? Add 14?
Yep.
Okay, so I am feeling considerably better, and I say something really cool, but I can't think of anything right now.
You'll patch it in later, Stephen.
Today is your day. I assure you. That's what I say.
All right. Melius, you are next.
Okay, so you just tell me. I accidentally rolled my spell attack early because I was trying to see it didn't make a button when I
Yeah.
hovered over it. So we want to take that 22?
Yeah, let's do that.
Hell yeah! All right, I
what
take
spell
that
is this?
22. This is Mordenkainen's sword as a bonus
Oh,
action,
okay.
baby. As a bonus action.
we
So
go.
now we're going to roll damage, which is 40, 12 plus 2.
40, 12.
Oh, 40 12.
Plus 2. It's like the cherry on top, the 2.
Yeah.
Which is 20
20 force damage. Pretty good for a bonus action.
All right.
And it's
so-
the force getting thrown right back at him. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yep, absolutely. So now what we're going to do next is let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what we can do, let's just see here. Let's try that. We're going to go. Oh, I forgot. I have a crossbow. Awesome. I just used the crossbow. What are they? I wonder, do they take piercing damage?
They do take piercing damage. They're corporeal. They're just hard to
Cool.
hit because they have
Cool.
a high armor class.
Oh, let's
Just
see what
annoying.
happens. We're going to roll the hit. We got a 6.
Oh, critical fail. The
Critical
crossbow
fail.
bolt fires wide. It ricochets around the room and goes frighteningly near Niss's head.
And then I think I'm going to let's see. No, I guess I'm going to stay where I am for the moment.
Okay.
And we're just going to hope that it doesn't come after me because Reed Quartz is right there.
All right. It's in melee with Reed. So
I'm
it's,
tanking.
Yeah. All right. We've got on the left side of the immense, giant, football field size sarcophagus pit. We've got Reed Quarrel fighting left golem, Lone Walker fighting right golem. Left golem's going to try and punch you twice. Reed golem with its horrible crystal fists that do force damage. First attack 15. Second attack 25.
The 15 misses, the 25 hits.
27 force damage. Lone
All right,
Walker.
well, I just, got some of that back from it.
A little bit back. Ouch. 29 Lone Walker. And 16.
29 is going to hit.
27 force damage.
Okay, it's fine. That's fine.
Vroga, you have spent a very long time trudging across an immense room. If only somebody had shared their Pegasus with you. I think you're probably close enough that you could run up to a golem now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's like, okay, so, yep. So I'm going to move.
And I assume you rage while you
Now
rush.
is the rage time.
Yeah, I'm going to get into rage, and I'm up here, and I'm into rage, and right. Okay, I'm just going to go great X this thing.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Make it great.
Okay, so, oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, may need to bleep that out.
I don't, Jason, when New Zealand people swear, is that still a swear?
It's sort
I
of
don't know how that
adorable,
works.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
We're in a new administration.
All the vowels are different. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vroga is enraged. She brings up the great sword off her back, but in attempting to pull it off her back,
Oh, no.
she completely fumbles it and goes flonk onto the ground, and so much so that the golem actually looks at her and it has a what the look.
Tilts his head and looks at you with vacant bronze eyes, being like,
Yeah,
are you
it's
okay?
and I Vroga just looks at the golem and goes, dude.
People made me read a book today. It's
Yeah. There were multiple books. Okay, just seriously.
The good
Many
news
books.
is you do have a second attack as a barbarian, so you can try again.
Try it again.
Try it again. Okay, I'm gonna okay. Now that we got
time
the
it's
axe
already
out, I'm gonna give a second attack on the great axe. Oh, 18 plus 8 is 26.
That is plenty.
Woo!
Smash
Okay,
into the
so we're
golem's
doing
chest.
1d12 plus 3.
Do you do extra because you're raging, or I don't know what raging gives you?
Rage is you gain advantage on strength checks and saving throws plus 3 melee damage with
Oh,
strength
Okay,
weapons.
so plus.
So if it didn't give you that +3, you would.
It looks like there's a +3 on there, but let me see if that's just by the nature of proficiency or something
Yeah.
like that. Hold on. Let me see where that calculus comes from. I think you should be getting a +3 to that because
Okay,
that's
so-
just by default.
8 total. Not the best hit, but I did virtually
you still
drop the
hit.
axe the first time.
8
so
plus
I'm-
3 or 8 total.
8 total.
All right. Noted. That seems low for level 13, but I don't know.
Yeah.
1d12 plus 3.
And you
Plus
rolled.
6.
You rolled a 6.
Oh, I rolled a
Rolled a
2.
5.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, what you rolled. I'll be quiet.
Okay. All right, you hit the. You take some chips off of the Canopic Golem. Let me just check something math-wise. All right, everything's great. All set, Sarah?
Yep.
All right, Lone Walker.
Alrighty. So Lone Walker is, I think, still rocking that. Let me see.
Go, Lone Walker. Clap, 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 clap. Go, Lone Walker.
Okay. Okay. It lasts for an hour. Okay, good. That's good. And it's not concentration. That's wild. All right. So I swing to hit with my war hammer.
22 will hit.
22. I
Hits.
thought so. And then that's going to do. So that's 15 radiant damage, but then right after Lone Walker hits, but before I guess the damage is cast, because that's how this works in theory, Lone Walker is going to do. Wait, I want to make sure. Hold on, let me double check something. You touch a non-magical weapon. Until the spell ends, that weapon becomes a magic weapon. with a +1 bonus to attack rolls. So it's a bonus action to turn it into a magical weapon for the period of time. It does not require then another bonus action to keep it going for magic weapon, which does mean I can cast Blinding Smite as a bonus action, which you take in. Go ahead.
As long as it's a cantrip. Remember, you can only cast 2 spells on a turn if one of them's a cantrip.
That's right. Okay, thank you. I knew there was something. Oh wait, but I didn't cast magic weapon on this turn. I cast it on the last turn.
Oh, then you're good.
And it lasts for an hour. So yeah, okay, so cool. We do Blinding Smite. You take immediately after hitting a creature with a melee weapon, which gives me an extra 3d8 of radiant damage from this attack, and you get the blinded condition until the spell ends. So let me add. So far it's 15. Let me go ahead and add 13 to that. So 15 and 13 is 28, right? 600, yeah. And you are blinded.
Let me just check. It's not.
Oh, yeah, if you can be blinded.
The construct is immune to being blinded.
Phooey.
Sorry. I was like, that would be a big deal. Yeah.
That's okay. 28 is a lot.
Magic. Yeah. This you're hacking away at this thing. Still not bloodied because it's a terrifying monster. But you're making progress. Nis, take us to the end of the round.
Come on, Nis, let's go.
I have a question about the geography here. So we're on a top level, and then on the right and left of our map, there are ramps down to a viewing area of a sarcophagus that's deeper down in a pit, right?
Correct. Yeah.
What do we know about this sarcophagus? What have we seen? What are we thinking?
Good call.
What do you know about the sarcophagus? Well, there's a dais at the bottom. The sarcophagus is 10 feet long, and it's carved out of black onyx. It's got an image on the lid that's like of an eye.
Everything is eyes here.
Yeah, everything is. They're very into that. It's like for seeing the future. Nobody's cast Detect Good and Evil in here, have they? How long did that last when you cast that, Micah?
It only worked back there.
Okay. I don't think
it's very good what's in there, right?
I don't think you need Detect Good and Evil to know that the black onyx 10-foot long sarcophagus at the bottom of the dark pit is bad. But it is very it's way down below you.
Can you cast Summon Lava and it's just a spill of lava comes out? And
how
the floor is lava.
How far down is it? These are questions asked by somebody who's about to do something incredibly stupid. So, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Excellent.
It's so far down.
It's so far down.
5, 10, 15, 20.
I think it's about 30, 60 feet down.
40, 45, 50 feet. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised the description of the room does not give you an exact amount.
So if you're just judging by the squares.
Yeah, I think it's about 60 feet down. Right. You're not about to like cast like raised death or something.
It looks like it's 70 feet from the doorway.
Yeah.
And 50 feet from the corners.
What do you want, Jason? I'll work with you here.
All right. So Nis only has one level 7 spell slot, and it's taken now.
Yep.
Nis has essentially very little to offer. I don't have any spells that
help people.
Help other people. They do damage and stuff, but they don't help other people. I can't convert my magic missiles to add hit points to people. That's not how that works. So I'm in a position where I can't do anything essentially to help. So I have two choices here that I will tell you of. Okay,
Jason,
go ahead.
Sorry, I think Magic Missile still works because Magic Missile is not an attack roll.
Well, yeah,
Magic Missile will always hit.
If you can tell me what exactly they're immune or not immune to, that would help. Yeah. Because what would Nis know about these guys having cast two spells against them?
The golem automatically succees on saving throws against spells of lower than 7th level, and attack rolls of such spells always miss.
But I
believe
for Magic Missile.
I believe Magic Missile is Magic Missile is intentionally, I think, designed this way as like kind of a rules loophole where there is no attack roll, and there's no saving throw. It just happens. But that, I mean, you can. I didn't want to derail you if you were going to do something else.
I mean, Jason might still want to do something stupid. Let's just wait and see.
Yeah.
Well, so these are my options then. I'd love everybody's thoughts here.
Yeah. Collaboration.
Nis can fire a level 6 magic missile and put some damage into one of these guys. That's a thing that she could do. Nis was considering that if she has nothing better to do, that she could literally throw herself off the ledge, cast Featherfall, and land in the pit and see what's down there, and maybe it could have spells cast against it. And Nis's other thought was to go request to see the manager, which is turn around and run toward our little helper friend who pointed us this way and then left to go in another room.
What's that about?
On her own, mind you, but still, because mad at being, that's a character who's out there who presumably isn't immune to level 6 spells. Those are my choices right now.
As somebody who's standing right in front of these things and being pummeled by it, I would say
you want the magic missiles.
They just mainly also remember how long how far all these corridors were described. I think it would take you like rounds to get to anyone to have a short conversation.
It'd be like half an hour.
That's true.
You might find disappointing.
I would say that
nobody wants me to featherfall into the pit.
Well,
I
Nis,
do.
Here's the deal.
Yeah,
Here's
I'm
the deal
actually
about
okay
that.
with that.
Actually, Nis, here's the deal. If you jump, I can featherfall you, which would still give you the opportunity. Wouldn't want to know because it's a reaction, so it wouldn't give you an opportunity to still cast something.
I just
That would
cast
be
it
the
as a
best.
reaction as I feathered down in the pit, which I can't get back out of, and which has a scary giant sarcophagus in it.
But you could get out of it if Lone Walker sent you
A
Pegasus.
Pegasus.
had sent you a Pegasus.
Well, I thought about the sarcophagus is just it's sitting down there, and it would.
What if you could just?
But then again,
It might
if
steal their
could-
attention away from
It
bludgeoning
could,
us.
Yes.
but it could also just bring a more dangerous and awful element into this fight that's already
It
pretty
could be
bad.
surrounded by a force field that will kill you immediately, even as you're feather
It could be. It could be.
Maybe you should
Oh
magic
no,
missile.
I didn't think
These
about
are
that.
all
Magic
these are
missile.
all great ideas.
Yep.
have
I mean,
not
maybe
considered
you
the
should
force
maybe you
field
should go to the
possibility.
edge and roll an Arcana check to see if it looks like there's some sort of protective field around it before you make your decision.
Roll insight on the field.
All right. Well, I think Nis is going to step up to the ledge regardless.
Oh, yeah.
And I could roll Arcana if you don't mind, Tony, just to see.
I will. You know what? Look. I'm so generous, and we're letting this last turn, which is 6
Yeah,
seconds,
this is high drama.
drag on.
Well, this is
forever.
metagaming. We're talking about this outside.
Yeah, it's good. As you head to the edge, something that you noticed that was probably not super obvious to other characters. So there's this like lower kind of viewing like ledge area that looks down on this horrible pit. But there are these. You notice that there are little shelves built into the lower edge. You see those little alcove
Yes.
deals.
And
And it's like, I don't know, maybe there's like eight or a dozen of them.
And there's things
you
in
notice
them.
there's things in them, Nis, specifically jars. Clay.
Jars that hold body parts.
clay.
Magic
I mean, they could,
jars.
How
they could
many
be
magic
used-
missiles can you
They could be
shoot on
used
one
for
turn?
anything. But also, you roll me some Arcana because that was not what you. I'm just telling you in additional information as you stand at the edge.
Wow, how
14
generous.
bit, looking
Arcana.
down. 14 Arcana. Looking down, you get the sense, you notice that there are some runes worked into the lid of the sarcophagus and even around the kind of the pit itself that lets you know that that sarcophagus is magically warded. And if somebody were to jump down in there, you even recognize some of those wards. You've seen them in the swamp. It would release a horrible cloud of stinking air that would do horrible damage to you.
Okay.
So you're thinking, though you would land peacefully with Featherfall, you would also then immediately be inhaling poison
Be a
gas.
smelly.
bad. Okay.
Oh,
Which,
poisonous.
I'm not going to tell you what your character would do.
Would I have in my split second judgment when I'm deciding where to fire my magic missiles? When I look at these jars, how sturdy
jars,
do they seem to be?
They do not seem sturdy, but also you don't think they have anything to do with the golems.
Sure.
They might
this
have
is
something to do with
fine.
something more
Committee.
important.
Yeah.
And again, it might distract the golems. We don't know.
Yeah,
I salute whatever you decide to do.
Me too. Any of
I
these.
chose to cast magic missile at 6th level, which means I actually do have 8 4 starts. So Tony,
Wow.
for this round,
Wow.
I'm going to hit
yes.
each one of the canopic jars
Fuck
with a 4
yes.
start.
Oh yes.
Oh, I said the F word. Sorry.
I don't even care if it does nothing. This is still
All right. Also, I imagine so. Nis, you raise your scaly little hand, and 4 starts zoom out from your hand. There are exactly 8 canopic jars, and I imagine that we get like a bullet view of each of the magic missiles zipping across the chamber. Some of them like take weird routes around the horrible
Just
golems.
showing off.
Yeah, just showing off. This, Nis, look,
Well, I'm
you
at the
do-
ledge, so they kind of fan out
Yeah.
from me, and they go right into the.
That's
the
cool.
as
That's cool.
they hit each jar, you get a close-up view of what was on the jar before it is destroyed permanently and never seen again. Where is my description of my jar? There is a close-up of a cat, and the jar shatters, and there is inside the jar. There's like a dried up human heart. There's a jar with a sword kind of etched into it. The jar explodes from your magic missile, and there is a humanoid eyeball, but it's all withered and decayed. And it's got like an eye patch with it, which is strange. Another magic missile hits one of the jars. This one has a withered up brain stem, and you hear actually one of the golems kind of twitches when that happens. The next jar has an image of a magic wand on it. The jar shatters, and you see a withered and dried up. Yes, I don't know how you could have heart. Like, we're now getting into the inner workings of human anatomy. Kidneys. The other golem kind of twitches at the feeling of that. A 5th jar shatters. It had a shriveled and relatively slightly more recent looking, but still dried out, not in mint condition pancreas. I should be making you do medicine checks, but I'm not. The next jar has a lizard with a school book on the jar.
Oh, no.
The jar
More
explodes
books.
in pottery. Nothing was in that jar. The 7th jar, is it a scythe? Is it a glaive? It's definitely one of those. Empty. And the final jar, an axe, also explodes with a magic missile, also empty. Good news, people that are lizards with school books, scythe glaive owners, and axe havers, you are probably not yet mummy thralls. But what of the fate of our other adventures? What is the deal with Val and Sarnaster? Will this information be enough to protect them from being pummeled to death by crystalline golems? This is a bad place, and we all regret going here. For further discussions, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. And
That was awesome.
my
I
gosh.
forgot to ask any questions. So,
That's okay. That's
Oh, my goodness.
Jason, please note down Nis gains inspiration for a very cool turn.
oh hell yeah.
Go.
Hey.
Yeah.
I just happened to hit the one that had the 8 things, and then there were 8 things. Who knew?
There are 8 things.
If there were only 7, this would have been like,
And,
next time.
just to kind of try and, I know there was a dense info dump a session ago. Again, there was rumor, the book seemed to describe how a mummy lord would store its organs inside people. And I guess you got to put the organs that were in the people somewhere else, such as a jar. So it seems like several
It
organs.
might have hurt the people.
Yeah, several organs had been removed, such as an eye, a heart, a pancreas, kidneys, and a brainstem. Several jars were ready for organs, but apparently your organs are okay, or maybe they just haven't been filed yet. We don't know.
Maybe that young Dragonborn is still okay.
Maybe. I really enjoy the adventure hook that it's like, maybe you're all mummy thralls, maybe not. I don't know. Let's find
Yeah,
out
have we been
together.
mummy thralls this
Find
whole
out.
time?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I feel a little
Everybody
bit
says
pulled
mummy
out by
thrall,
the
and I'm like,
X on
dude, I want to be like, are you my mummy?
Yeah. I don't know.
Reference
I feel
acknowledged.
like
you
lizard
have a
and
mummy
school
kink?
book. Is that all this is? That felt a little reductive.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I'm not just my scythe, so it's
Yeah,
what
take
are
it
you
off
gonna
with
do?
the canopic jar carver. Whenever you find that. Well, I think that's it for today. Live stream / bootleg. We hope you enjoyed this. We'll be back
Live stream.
sometime soon with more Total Party Kill with this adventure specifically sometime. But I think
Sometime.
you can take us
Goodbye.
offline. Jason.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Stop it.